Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Happy Friday to you. I hope your week was great. I hope you guys had an amazing week. Um, and I hope everyone is staying warm. Oh, it's cold. It's rainy. I hope you're all wrapped up like a burrito. How na day now? My village people, my village brothers and sisters, abeg una let me know if una hear me. Abeg, una let me know if una dey hear me. I want to make sure. Yay! Marion in the house. Marion in the house. Marion in the house. Marion, how na you be the first person for here? Oh. Hey! Marriott, welcome. I hope you had a great week. Yay! Neka, welcome. Oh. Una welcome. Oh. Happy Friday to everyone. Highly favored, welcome. Welcome. And they dance. Welcome. Oh. I hope you had a great week, highly favored. I hope each and every one of you had a fantastic week. Yay! BBMJ in the house. My village sister, welcome. Glad to have you here. BB, trust you are well. Trust you're doing good. For life, Esther, welcome. Oh, welcome, my village family. Una welcome. Una carry una joko come out, even though today not be village meeting. But you know the level now. Carry your bench, your joko, kola nut, palm wine, fried asun. You understand? Fried goat meat, fried bush meat. Anyone bring am, sit down, tapioca and coconuts, roasted yam and palm oil, bitter cola. Bring all regular kola nut. Oh yeah, make everybody dey take the one wey they like for inside. So make we dey arrange the thing. If you no get joko, you no bring bench, borrow from person, sit down near your sister or your brother. Make una enter, make una enter. How na dey now? How level? Glad to have everyone. Guguru and epa, absolutely. Palm wine, freshly tapped palm wine from the tree. From the wine tapper, the village wine tapper. Everybody get in calabash for hand. We could take serve the palm wine. Almost kegs of palm wine dey around the area. Oh yeah, pounded yam and banga soup. Banga soup dey, ogbono dey, egusi dey. Wetin dey call am, white soup dey. Anyone wanna like of your choice. Banga and starch dey. Anyone, assorted fish, dry fish, everything dey repete. Enough for the village people, enough for the community. Mirabel has landed. My village sister, welcome. I hope you had a great week. Glad to see you here. Una welcome. Oh. Una take position. Una carry una joko, una table everywhere. Anybody when they una fit put am under the mango tree. Sit down. Sit down. I don't know which fruit dey in season at this time. I can't even remember again. I've lost how the fruits of the season. I used to know them very well, oh, but I don't know. I know say corn they come. I know say corn time, corn season to plant. I think that's a planting season with this, and then March harvest. I believe I can't remember. You guys should not quote me on that. Yeah, boiled corn or roasted corn with ube. Everybody gather here. You are early, Mirabel. You are early and present. All right. Glad to hear that. Guguru pekere. Is it perere? Which one is epa perere? Which one is that? There's pekere. Pekere in my own where I come from is roasted plantain. It's like what's it called? Plantain chips. Plantain chips. That be pekere from my side. So Mirabel, you say the last two live show I show up to mark register. I know because you quiet for those live show. Then sleep don't show you. No be your me, no they follow nature drag. Once sleep come like this, you can't do anything about it. That's nature's way of saying time to go to rest. So I know you know they present for the two lives. We know and I understand. Yeah, back with your regular self. Awesome. Glad to hear that. Glad to have everyone come in, come in. So this topic of today, I dey see some videos for TikTok. Oh, na make me bring am come. I lis ten to some. I come say, "Sure, what's happening? Who said that? Who dey talk say marriage na scam? I no understand. Oh, which kind marriage dey when be scam? Cause a lot of us still believe very strongly in marriage. A lot of us believe very strongly in the family unit. So which one dey come dey talk? Biko my people, make una help me understand o. Wetin dem dey talk? Which kind English dem dey speak? All these people wey dem dey go around, they try to discourage single people and young people that are desiring of marriage to make them be second guessing. You know, the unfortunate thing is that most of these people wey dey post all these things, right? Because now their voice that they hear loud pass. They always say, you hear that they say they'll first start, marriage is a scam. I'm like, unto who? Who talk that one? From where? Which school of thought is that? Which university they teach? Who be the lecturer when teach that subject? Say marriage is a scam. Biko. I don't understand. Wetin make am be scam? Now this thing 419 things. You understand? Now money when they thief. I mean, I don't understand. Now fraud, I get it too. People have, experiences. They don't get experience for marriage when make them feel safe, when make them talk like that. I'm very well aware that people have, but have experience the experience in marriage hasn't been great or hasn't been good for whatever reason, right? But I'm not sure. I don't know whether I wish to say marriage is a scam. I go share my link because I not be professional for this matter. Let those who are married come and share their thoughts with us. Even though you never marry, your ideal idea of what you believe say marriage should be all about. So let's have an open conversation about this because I don't want to be the only one talking today, being that we have more knowledgeable people in our midst today. So please kindly use the link and let's address this topic because I've been seeing it a lot on TikTok, on social media platforms. People are saying marriage is a scam, you're better off with yourself. I mean, I don't understand that. I get you being on, by yourself until you meet someone that's sane, that you feel you can, both communicate and grow together. I get that, but I just generalizing and saying marriage is a scam. I think it's a dangerous word to put out there. If that's your reality, if that's what you're saying to yourself, you've already shot yourself in the foot. That means you have already spoken into the universe, and the universe don't carry the word and is running with it. So I don't know why people will just generalize like that. BBMJ, welcome very much to this place, this Iwoyi that we have today, this topic in the village square.
Hello, my sister. Hello.
Oh my
Um,
God, you have a cold?
a very bad one at that.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that too. I hope you've been taking care of it.
I have.
How do you
Um,
feel?
First and foremost, is there an echo?
Maybe because I'm my mic is on. I can go on mute now so you can talk.
Oh, okay. No, it's okay. Because I always thought it was me that had the echo, but not a problem. Yes,
Yeah,
I am taking something. Yeah, but you know how it is.
yeah.
You try to get well, and then it resurfaces. But we did try.
Well, please be strong. Oh. We
Oh, we
need
try.
our BBMG back in
Thank
full
you.
throttle.
No, I can assure you my family is happy because it's just less wahala in the house.
No shouting. No whining. I know.
Everybody's like, God, peace of mind for a period of time
Oh my God, that is so funny.
until she gets better.
Abby.
Um, when I saw that topic, I thought, marriage being a scam. First and foremost, I think we need to understand what scam is. Um, I don't think the word scam came into existence until the 90s, maybe the late 80s and onward is when we started having and hearing the word scam, you know, and
Let me just quickly define it.
mhm,
Google this dictionary
mhm,
definitions from Oxford Languages, whatever,
mm,
right? It
mm,
says a scam is a dishonest scheme, a
mhm,
fraud,
mhm.
an insurance scam. They're giving an example.
Yeah, so it actually makes it much more clear. Until the recent 90s, we didn't really know what, I mean, scam wasn't a very popular word.
Yeah,
Rather, what you heard was the word fraud, and by then, if you heard fraud, it was always involving money, right? It wasn't emotional fraud, it wasn't mental fraud, it wasn't physical fraud, it was just financial fraud we all heard of. But these days, fraud, and even back then, the word fraud was associated with something really big, like one government managing director has done something nasty and it's in the news. It wasn't really a one individual kind of thing. It wasn't
right.
as popular as that. It was more like it has to be an a kind of institution being involved in terms of fraud. But as the years are going by, now we have emotional fraud. Now we have, and now we have now coined the word and make it sound fancy. We now call it a scam. So to the point where you can have elementary school kids using the word, "Oh, he scammed me." You can even hear high school kids talking about scam. So with that context in mind, now let's look at what marriage is all about. And I like to look at marriage from the beginning, because whoever is coining the word that marriage is a scam must be saying that God made a mistake. And to the best of my knowledge, Jehovah, God doesn't make a mistake
Okay, so
because.
let me just quickly interject Mirabelle's comment here, which I
Mhm.
think it's. She says the institution is definitely not a scam, but some people's reality in marriages can pass for a scam.
And I totally agree with her on that one. I totally agree with her on that one because, like I was saying, God did not make a mistake. And he is the originator of marriage. He defined what marriage is when he brought two people together. And when those two people went into it together, they went in with honesty and to go and, embrace all that it comes with. There again, there's no school that says, okay, this is how you do marriage and this is not how you do marriage. So what we know of marriage is what has been passed down to us and what we decide to um, pick up from the environment around us and inculcate into our lifestyles what we decide is not good enough to make us happy, what each couple, because every marriage, every couple that comes together in the name of, I signed this to do this forever with you, they have their system that works with them. So no one system is universal for everybody. It works for everybody. And like Mirabel nicely puts it, it's on the individual base, So if an individual comes with a mindset that, you know what, I'm going to try this thing for 1 year, and if it doesn't work, I'm going on my own. That's what it's going to be for that person. That's how they will make the reality work for them. And at the same time, if you have someone that comes in and says, you know what, till death do us part, I am going nowhere, you are not going anywhere, whatever, however good or however bad it is, we will weather it together. And in some situations, we also have that. Um, Recently, I was listening to something and I saw this beautiful elderly couple. I think it was in Uganda or something. And they were 80, they said they had been married for 80 years.
I think I saw that.
Yeah. And I thought, how beautiful. And when you look at them, it's not as if they had a fancy house or a fleet of cars. I mean, the way they even looked, it is in the modern day world of definition of what a marriage should look like. It didn't fall into that. But these two people, what I saw was the glint in their eyes and the happiness they both had. And the
Mm,
woman still babying the man by washing the man's face. And I thought that was just stunning.
right.
So you can imagine what they have weathered to get to that point. So anybody coming with the idea that marriage is a scam is somebody that already has something fixated in their mind of what an ideal marriage should be, which is wrong because
Mm.
for me, marriage is like a box of presents. It can be nicely wrapped in, and when you open it, the only thing you see inside it will just be a piece of candy. Now you can decide to make that candy look larger than normal and even entice somebody else to think that you're actually eating ice cream when you're just eating a piece of candy. Or you can take that piece of candy and treat it like just one piece of candy that finishes and that's it. So it's what each individual is, it's what you both bring into the party. And I always go back to my mantra: if you know yourself well, you will make wherever you are be worth what you are. And
Okay,
that
so
come
on that note, let me come in here for a little bit, BB. Thank you. You're doing so well, like always. You always have great points, you know. So here's the thing that is going through my mind right now as you say that. So why do people not just speak to the individual issues? Like this is what occurred in my scenario or in their scenario rather than generalizing and saying marriage is a scam. Because when you start that, a lot of people that are curious about marriage want to be married, looking forward to it and everything. Some people are very impressionable. So when they hear that and it goes and stays in their subconscious, whenever they meet someone, they're always presenting that without even knowing. Okay, so when people put words like that out, it really like it speaks to the issues that they currently have with themselves. But instead of generalizing, why don't you just be specific and say, hey, this is the experience that was had, which is different from everybody else's experience, because generalizations, they're very dangerous.
to that, what I would say is, first and foremost, nobody likes fingers being pointed at them, and nobody likes to be noticed for something bad. And humans are so impatient that when we hear a story, we don't wait to hear the whole story. We hear just a little bit of the narrative and we run with that. And that's what happens in most cases with marriage. You come out to cry boo-hoo, but a lot of times you don't tell the complete story. And in every
Mm,
situation, there's always two sides of a story. And because these days anything sells, for instance, if I say today that a pink cow gave birth to a blue pig, it will be headlined.
mm,
People will want to hear about it. So
right.
it's a situation of let me shout first and make noise about it. Even if I'm in the wrong, because I shouted first, they will hear me out first.
Mm,
And that's what happens in that situation of marriage is a scam. Who came up with that? Um,
exactly.
before we even got to that point, that person that is shouting marriage is a scam, is that what the person's family's marriage was? Is that how it is a scam in that person's family?
Mm,
Is Are all the marriages in that person's family bad for them to come out and say it's a scam? Just because you had a bad experience doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad for everybody.
right.
I was listening to an interview that Harry was doing with one of the TV persons.
Right.
And in fact, I even had a discussion with my husband. I said, you know what? This culture of don't explain, don't complain, I think
Mm,
in a way is what the British society indoctrinated into the African culture for those that they colonized.
right.
Because if you go back and look at all the countries that the British colonized, they have that attitude. Don't complain, no explanation. And you
Mm,
find the government is that way. Everything is hush hush. Oh, don't let this person know. Oh, don't let that. But you see, it went beyond. It crippled into the family. Because how
Right.
many families do you really say sit down and say, okay, let's talk? The attitude we have growing back at home is you don't talk back, you don't complain,
Right.
you can't air your views. So it's the same hush hush in a way that is kind of beautified. So now
Mm-hmm.
this person is not coming out to say marriage is a scam. But instead of the person saying, hey, I had a problem with my marriage, or I had some situations I had to deal with in my marriage, now you make the whole institution look bad. For instance, case in point, the kid that's on leave in a particular school back at home in Lagos. Truth, let's be honest, everybody in that school cannot necessarily be bad.
That's
Some
true.
bad, some bad kids existed, but what have we done? We labeled the whole school bad because we
Mm.
did not get the justice that we wanted. Therefore, everybody in the school should be bad. So the same thing with marriage. This marriage didn't work for certain people that I know. For friend A, friend B, friend C, friend D, friend E, friend F, G. Therefore, all the friend Z's, the marriages must be horrible. It must be bad. That it doesn't work like that. We still have
Right.
people at home that had marriages that stayed a long time. And yes, it might not be the definition of what we think it should be in terms of the woman having rights, the woman being taken care of, but it endured. Whatever worked for them, worked for them.
Right.
So we can't call that a scam. And like I said, more importantly, why we can't call it a scam is it was ordained by God, and God doesn't make mistakes.
Right. The it's very interesting that you kind of pointed out the fact that the culture sort of the colonialists, that they brought to Africa kind of has dwindled and settled knowingly or unknowingly, consciously or unconsciously, in every aspect, especially with regards to the family, you know, which is what we're seeing. Like I was listening to, I think in passing, I saw uh Daddy Freeze. He was I think he was talking about marriage in marriages abroad, Nigerian marriages abroad, and there was a lady on there that was talking about how a woman kicked her husband out of the house and all of that, some story. And then another guy came in. I kind of was going back and forth. I really don't watch him, but I wanted to hear what the points that they were I wanted to hear what they were talking about to understand where they were coming from. And the other fellow said, well, there's that the problem is some of these Nigerian women, when they get there, there's this whole idea about, black women power or something ridiculous like that, that's what's giving these women all the opportunities to do whatever they want, and you know get like get chase their husbands out of the home, which I think
Mm-hmm.
was a
Mm-hmm.
generalization in and of itself. Why? Because we don't even know the woman's side. And then to the point where they were saying, oh, there are no shelters for men, like when anything happens, men don't have, there's nothing in place for them and all of that. He was just kind of trying to tap into the emotions of men, and when people say stuff like that, it has a way of settling, right? It has a way of
Mm-hmm.
settling in the minds of impressionable people, and then they begin to question themselves or question what they see. The fact that it's bad for you doesn't mean it's going to be bad for the next person.
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
fact that the woman kicked her husband, first of all, we don't know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I know for a fact. I don't care what anybody says. It is very in an African woman. Let me speak specifically for Nigerian women now. Before a Nigerian woman will say won't kick you out, and I'm not generalizing here. We do know there are bad eggs, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
before the average woman, because of the way our culture is about marriage and all of that, the sanctity of marriage, before a
Mm-hmm.
woman kicks you out of the house, there's something that has gone wrong. That woman has gone outside of herself to do it because there's no way out.
True.
You
True.
understand?
But
So
Omoye,
go
Omoye,
ahead.
even before you even get there, sincerely, how many women have you heard have kicked their husbands out?
I have hardly,
Exactly. Because
hardly.
because that woman has to go past not just the man, but the man's
Mm-mm.
family.
Her own family, starters,
Exactly. They have to,
friends.
yeah. So it doesn't even get to that point. So, but however, have there been situations where women have had a strong say so in their marriage, even at home? Absolutely.
Absolutely. I've seen
Absolutely.
it. Yeah.
Yes, I have seen that as well, but it hasn't gotten to that point. Why? Because the society around them does not celebrate women when they come out to be badass babes.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you do that, it's like, oh wow, there must be somebody backing her up. It's never to the fact that, you know what, this woman has just had enough and she can't take it anymore. That's why she's behaving this way. It's always to the fact that there must be some person backing her up. She can't be doing this on her own. But truth be told, there's some women that are like, you know what, I have had it. I have just about had it. You go yours, I go mine, and let me see what heaven is going to fall. And this is not, I'm not talking about now. I'm talking as far back in the 70s, as far back in the
Mm.
60s. It's just that they were not celebrated or they were
Yes.
not called out the way it is
Right.
being called
There
out
was
now.
no social media.
There
There
was
was
no
no
social
social
media.
media.
And the hush hush attitude did not
Right.
allow their families to say, hey, come out, come and see what our sister did. Because it was seen as something that was insulting
Yeah.
and bringing the family
Embarrassment.
name down. Exactly. But there were women that told their husbands, I've just about had enough with you and I'm done with this whole thing. Go your
Right.
way, I go my way. So many of it. So it happened back then because we didn't have enough noise being made. But now that everybody, I mean, even a day old baby has a smartphone, for crying out loud, they know how to press the buttons and the thing is on is in billboards. The whole world can see it. Now everybody is singing. As much as I like the fact that, okay, yes, let's not suffer in silence anymore. But I also worry with the fact that the most irrelevant things are being idealized.
Celebration. Yeah.
Yes, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
And I am still the traditional person that, look, your marriage is your business, deal with it privately.
Mm-hmm.
What goes on in your bedroom and in your house should not be a neighborhood affair.
I feel the exact same way
It
because
should
I
not be.
feel like it's supposed to be a personal thing. It's not for the public,
No.
you know. So why do we have to suffer because you have made poor choices for your life?
And
Why do I have to
why
go
do the
ahead?
women have to be labeled?
Exactly.
Because a lot of times when the marriages don't go well, the first thing is, what did she do?
Exactly. Nobody's asking what did he do. It's
Mm-mm,
always what did she do.
mm-mm. I mean, a typical situation is a girl child does something wrong and they're pointing fingers at the mother.
Thank you.
You didn't teach your daughter well. Okay,
Yes.
the child did not come by herself. There was a man also involved. Why can't the man also say, you know what, I had a part in not making this girl grow the way we wanted her to grow? Why is it always a woman's fault?
No, they always exonerate the man and make them feel like they're not responsible for anything. Nobody holds them accountable for anything in our
Exactly.
society.
So
That's the problem.
that scam thing, I think it was this lady's husband, this Daniel Etimefyong or something, that came up with the story that marriage was a scam. I saw that somewhere headline somewhere in somebody's, I think in the Nzes show or something, and I
Hmm.
thought that is so sick.
That's
Yes,
dangerous.
yes, it is. It's very misleading, very very misleading.
Hmm.
Because what are you telling the younger generation? And
Exactly.
and somebody could say, well, it was clickbait. Well, clickbait, do it
No.
properly.
Mm-mm.
don't scare people like that, because there's some. Okay, I'll give you an example. um I have a young friend that, we're all talking, and I just teased her and I said, hey, so when are we, and somebody from here, I said, so when are we coming to, dance and everything? Because when they do their own weddings, yeah, it's not about food, it's about dancing.
Yeah.
And she was like, not going to happen. And I said, seriously? She's like, yeah, I don't want to. I said, aren't you happy with what you see around you? And she said, I am, but it's not for me. I don't think I don't think I need happiness from another person. I need to make myself happy. And if I cannot be happy with myself, what makes me think I can make another person happy or somebody else can make me happy? And from that point of view, that person is not looking at marriage as being a scam. That person is just saying, you know what? I need to settle myself first before thinking of settling somebody else. But that's that person's ideology, right? But when you now use the word marriage is a scam, it's like from the beginning of the marriage to the end of the marriage, there's nothing good about it. It's very misleading, extremely misleading. And I think people should really be careful. If you call yourself a celebrity or you are out there in the public, be careful with your choice of words, because you have people following you, namely your children, namely your family members. Why would you be so bold to come out and say such a thing and think it's going to sit well with a lot of people? So I just find it very interesting. And sometimes I think maybe it's because of the English language, for lack of words to use, we just throw out anything that comes out of our mouth.
Right. That's true. And and um I think the whole idea is because the reason why I think we're having this issue, I this is just my opinion, is that people, right? And I agree with Mirabel. Let me start with that. Of course, there are exceptions to every rule. I agree with you, Mirabel. There are exceptions to every rule where you feel like your life is in danger, or you need some type of help, because I've seen it even on social media where people are experiencing something dangerous, relatively dangerous, and then they have to record so that way everybody can see and try to get help for them. I've seen that, so I agree with you. But I think the reason why I think some people are saying, and I don't like the fact that they're generalizing, is because they're using individual experiences as opposed
Mm-hmm.
to, instead of focusing on that specific experience. Like, okay, I went to BBMJ's restaurant. I had rice and stew, right? And my tummy maybe ran, whatever. Then I
Mm-hmm.
now go and say, hey, eating out in restaurants is a scam. You're generalizing, you're throwing every restaurant under one umbrella because of one
Mm-hmm.
act by a person, and maybe not even her, maybe her cook
Mm-hmm.
did it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is where
Mm-hmm.
I have a problem. And because of the advent of social media, people just have a need to put everything out there. There seems to be a lack of discipline, and people can't hold back anymore. Anything they feel, they just want to put it out there. You're thinking about something, you're putting it out there. It's become like an overdose of, they're living in an alternate reality, and they think that when they put everything out there, I don't know what they think they're going to gain you know and I was hearing, I came across another video where a guy was advising, like he has like a podcast or something. Some of this guy, he was saying that men should just come together and decide not to bother about marriage and stuff like that, right? And your
Mm.
example that you gave earlier about the lady saying she's not, I understand there are people who are not cut out for marriage. There are people who don't
Mm-hmm.
want it. There are people like
Mm-hmm.
that. So I can't even, I can't even blame her. Maybe she's really come to a place where she realizes that's not what I need. Maybe she's just one of those people who just need someone, or, whatever. To
Mm-hmm.
each their own. I'm not here to pass judgment on anyone, right? We're not here to do that. So,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just disturbing when people keep putting out rhetoric like this,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of young people are coming up, those that
Yeah.
are still trying to understand who they are and figure out life. If they
Mm-hmm.
hear stuff like that and it's being thrown at them consistently, it goes and it sits in their subconscious and they carry that thing around, and they
Mm-hmm.
actually start acting the opposite, right? They start acting it out without even realizing it. And
Mm-hmm.
then if something goes wrong, they'll say, well, it's not for me anyway. So it's like a justification now.
Of what
That's
they
what
did.
happens.
Yeah, I agree with you. I so agree with you. Um, and I don't know when our society got to that point. I truly don't, because I always still held out to the fact that we still had morals, a little bit of it, and that there were certain things we were just not bold enough to do in the public eye, just because we still have culture and tradition. But apparently, that's not even working anymore.
Right.
The conscience of people is so far away from their true self that it's not like, you know what, I want my name in limelight, and whatever it takes to get there, I will do it,
Right.
including misleading people, including misinterpreting interpreting situations, including changing the narratives, including blaming the wrong set of people, including um, you know sharplining my partner, as long as my name is out there,
Mm-hmm.
I will weather whatever comes with it. But the truth be
Right.
told is, you cannot envisage what will come with it, because you might think that it's going to pay you, but it comes back to bite you. So when I
Mm-hmm.
heard someone like that, Daniel Etimefio, making that statement, the first thing I think of is his marriage must be rocky.
Right. Apparently, he has a good marriage.
He
Apparently,
does.
he
He
does. I think it
well,
was a.
well, you
They,
see,
they were
Omoye, to
doing
you
it.
and I,
Right.
to
Right.
you and I, it looks like a
Right.
good marriage, right?
Well, that's true. We're not in it. So, okay, I take that back.
Exactly.
We're not in it. Yeah.
Exactly.
One
They're
quick
giving us
second.
what they want us to see.
Yeah. One quick second,
Mm-hmm.
BBMG. Is anyone else having trouble commenting? Because I just got a message now from our very own the host with our host with the most. She's not able to subscribe. That's weird. I don't know what's going on. She's not able
Mm.
to write to put in a comment. She's not able to comment on the video. Please let me know if
I've
anybody else
had
is
that
having that too.
before. I've had
Uh-huh.
that before, but that was because I was new to your page. So they tell you
Okay.
you have to listen, I think, for like 20 minutes or 30 minutes
Mm-hmm.
before you are able to type or you're able to
No, but
comment.
Nacho has been commenting. Nacho has been commenting now.
Yeah, that's
Nacho has been
true.
subscribed, so it's really weird that she's not able to comment. Anyway, I
Mm,
told her to in case you're having that trouble, the only thing I can think of is unsubscribe and then subscribe again, and then I think you have to wait a few minutes or a few
mm,
seconds before you can comment. I'm so
mm-hmm.
sorry. I don't know what's happening. YouTube is funny like that to my people.
They are. I remember I
Hmm.
told you that there was a time they were not allowed. I wasn't getting your notifications.
Exactly. Exactly.
So,
Exactly. So they're funny like that. So I don't know.
mm-hmm,
I'm sorry if you're experiencing that. Please just unsubscribe and subscribe again. Thank you. I'm so sorry about that.
mm. So,
Yeah.
so I
Mhm.
was saying that, we may see he might present to us, to the world, that everything is looking fine and dandy, but we don't really know what's. And it is so true. There's always an element of truth in something.
Right. Right.
So there might be a little bit of hitch and glitch. And there's nothing wrong with that, because we're all imperfect people. There's
Mm.
bound to be glitches. In fact,
Right.
isn't that what makes it nice that, okay, you have this rocky relationship with this person, but when you guys come back together, man, you're stronger than ever, right?
Mm-hmm.
That happens. That exists. So if he has that, it's happening. However, like you rightly said, Do not categorize everything to be like that, because there's no marriage today on earth that is 100% fantastic without a glitch.
That's true.
No two persons, in fact, no two siblings stay together without having some kind of bumping elbows. But it's what you weather through. And is that not what people come back and say? They write books. How I did these days, the success of
Oh,
this
she's
days.
here. Sorry.
Okay.
Finally, Natu, I'm happy. I was stressing myself out here. Okay, I'm happy. Okay, good to have you. They breathe. Welcome, my love. Make I share my link. Go ahead, Bibi.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
So I'm just saying, whoever is coming up with that statement, first and foremost, go back and reflect. What is this marriage all about? Okay, we are done with the cake, we're done with the honeymoon, we're done with furnishing the house. Now what? What are you in there for? And it comes back to my same mantra: know yourself, like yourself, be yourself,
right?
Understand yourself, so that you can give to your next partner what you want them to see. We've heard of cases where people have been married for how many years? 20, 30 years. And you will hear the man or the woman say, I've never seen that side of him before.
Right. I've heard that. I have definitely heard that. Yes.
So that happens, but I think our world back home is, they smile together, they went on honeymoon together, they're always laughing together, they wear the same ashrebi to all the weddings. It must be fantastic. No. So come out and tell the whole world that, you know what, we sit down here smiling. 5 minutes ago, we were not even looking at each other, let alone smile.
Exactly.
And we don't do that at home, because what the world has projected is it has to be fantastic.
Right. Let me tell you something, baby. When I was back home in Nigeria, right? I remember I had like a friend who had like a relative. I used to remember then my friend's mom used to complain. Every time she'll be fighting with her sister, right? They'll be talking quietly, be hearing you shall be here as children, you hear everything. By the way, people with children, you say they don't they hear. If you lock them up somewhere, their ears are sharp, that they hear everything. So anyway, I was, and she was telling me like, how you go take marry man? How you go take, they talk to her. So how na what they do one for night? You know they do anything for I don't understand. You they say you they fear to talk to the man, you they fear to do this one, ask her money for food, you they fear. How na what they do one for night? I don't understand. How you think they do person when you know they fit talk to?
But oh boy, yeah, make her shock you. You know, see that kind of thing they happen before.
Wow. Well, back in the day, before women understand it, yeah.
When you go, they see woman go kneel down, they give husband food.
Well, Ma tell you one gist. Ma tell you, I get relative when we did bad on that time. This man come travel from a village. He come say won't marry wife. We can't tell my papa, when my papa people then be right. Come bring the woman. So my mom, cooked in the kitchen and all that as far relative in-laws are coming. No be mama dey kitchen, the woman go kitchen, come go dey help mama. That day we no enter kitchen, that day thank the Lord, the woman came to save us. Now she do all the work, they not send her more, she do everything. And so we say, as children we were playing. This woman, next thing the one come serve the food, they come carry the husband food, mama come leave the husband food, this woman come carry her, kneel down. That memory is just engraved in my brain. He kneel down, give the man food. He can't go bring water until they wash hands, now for swallow. He can't go kitchen, can't go carry water. He can't kneel down again, put the water for table. Then he can't kneel down as the man they chop. As the man they chop, you can't carry water, fill the water for glass. You can't hand down to the man gently, like egg. The man will
Mm.
come drink am. Then when the man go maybe burp, he go say, sorry sir, in our language. He come dey greet am, sorry sir. Feke,
Mm-mm.
he go dey rub him back. When I go remember that thing on my own, I go say, where the man, they who born the man.
Make I can't tell you another one. So as he come upgrade, as the woman come upgrade, come to say one do fuga, say no good kneel down. You go can't carry chair sit down by inside. You go dey wait, make the husband chop finish. You don't kneel down again though. Now they don't give her small kitchen stool, so you sit down by my side. Now the upgrade be that. And you would not believe it, some people still practice it till today.
Wow.
Some people still do it till today. Person we go see that kind thing, go talk say marriage na scam. But truth be told, did it not work for them?
It did though, because they are married. They still they married though. When I went to when my dad passed away, as they came for the funeral, the woman looking sharp. Let's say they don't upgrade the hair as per internet age don't come. The women are still married though.
Exactly.
They're still fully married.
God bless you. It worked for them. Now, me, we go they look outside, go they call and scam. But for that woman, she has peace of mind. Things are working out for her. She's not complaining. Everybody's happy. So the scam is individual based. The scam is based on environmental. The scam is based on attitude. The scam is based on individual definition. The scam is based on the people around you. The scam is a single story. Marriage being a scam is a single story on your own story alone.
Right.
It shouldn't be generalized. It's not everybody. Because what I consider a scam, somebody else might not see that way.
Exactly.
What somebody considers to be fantastic, I will call it suffering. How dare you? What's wrong with you? Can't you see?
So each his own, right?
Exactly. So I don't know who came up with that storyline, and I really think it's a distraction from whatever that person is dealing with. And I would advise such a human being, go back and look at yourself very well. What are you overlooking? What are you sidelining? What are you ignoring? Is there a tiny crack in your marriage? Because sometimes, not even sometimes, why do people go to therapy? You want to talk to someone that is not going to judge you, is not going to come to conclusions, is not
that
going
will listen to you.
Exactly. That will not criticize you, that is ready to agree with you, even if what you're saying is crap.
Right.
So the same thing. So you bring this problem to the open field, but it's actually a tiny problem in your own home. But because you're now bringing it out to the open, everybody thinks, oh, he's intelligent. Let's talk about it. But in actual fact, you're looking for solutions based on who is going to contribute.
Wow. You're right, BBNJ. I don't think I reach like that.
BBNJ be dropping gems.
I'm telling you, I don't think I go that side at all. I don't think I'm far. Wow. You're right, BB. That's so true. You're bringing the issues forward, talking about it as though you're talking in the third person, right?
Exactly. But it's something that is.
Yeah.
So, because when you now bring it out, you're going to be weighing everybody's opinion.
Yes.
And know which one works for you, and gradually solve your own situation or gradually idealize your own situation. But you have gotten the input of so many without tainting your image.
And without having to pay a therapist.
God bless you. Isn't that what we all do here when we sit down to talk?
Not true. Kind of.
Identify with that thing. Yes, I saw the person follow do me. If you see what thing you do me, you don't draw your own commots. You don't take your own thorough. You don't work. Is that not what we all do?
And everybody getting home for your house.
God bless you.
Everybody getting home.
Natsu,
how now? I did, my sister. How are you?
Now to hey, my heart can't dey cut. I say, who can't do math to this kind thing?
I
I can't go
say my
studio.
village,
I can't
my
quiet
village
as
people
baby they
dey
talk. I
try
don't
me
want to talk.
today.
Make I no disturb am. I can't dey look. I say, what is going on with YouTube? These people,
I think
they want to find my trouble.
my chest come up off of ground. I say, no, no, not try this. I'll subscribe. I say, no, no, no play with me like this. Because this topic now, our topic, no, they play like this. You know,
I'm
I
so
think I saw
happy.
this.
Oh.
Thank you, my love. I think this guy posted it, this celebrity posted on his status. Is that why you're talking about BBMJ? You know, sometimes, right, what people forget is that some people don't understand the magnitude of the platforms that they have and they abuse it.
True.
There are some things that you can't because there are people that are looking up to you. There are people that want to catch everything that you say. Do you understand what I'm saying? And you put something out, they take it and run to the bank with it. And also another thing that's wrong with our society, we just need to normalize. People like need to understand that this marriage no get manual. Everybody get on. You just have to run it the way it
Mm-hmm.
works for you. Period. But people get one kind of standard like that that they want like everybody has to follow for it to work. It's not like that. Now
It's
like
true.
allergy medication, you go work for another person, no go work for another person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't drink cardio PM, so if I drink another, I don't dey sleep.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's like that. So people just need to normalize it. If you see other couples having issues, can we just like people need to stop judging and be like, you know what, it happens. You know, it will come and pass. Give advice that will help. You know, say, you let that thing happen. Why you leave her? Why you go do? Why are you still there? And I'm not talking in the section of abuse. This does not like cover abuse or any other thing. But I'm just talking about like the marriage itself in general.
Mm-hmm.
So people sometimes go in with expectations and don't want to put in the work. If you see people they buy car, they sell car go Nigeria, they make money from am. Eh? They advertise their business for head. And you buy, go park for your house, you wait for person may come by. How I want to work.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta put in the work. So people that you see coming out screaming are people that have so much expectation. They're not putting anything into it, but they want something in return. A thief you be that now.
Abi.
That's why I keep saying like sometimes I think you're the one that made a comment last week that you say sometimes like we always talk about what we don't get, but we forget to look at what are we giving, what are we putting in, what are our input, how much effort are you making? And that's why
Mm-hmm.
I'm like this year my approach is different. You understand? Like you have to work on yourself too, self-development, checking. Like, okay, if these children they chop beans they mess, more mix them with rice
Mm-hmm.
and see how it go. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? If you dey chop moi dey purge, if you chop beans alone, maybe you no go purge. Go that route. Maybe if you chop akara and no purge, go that route. So
Mm.
when people just go in and they don't get what they want. Na Fulani man now, Fulani man no sabi carry money go bank. He tell you say
Mm.
bankers na thief.
Mm.
Na the same thing. You enter marriage, you no see wetin you wan see, you comot you say na scam.
In fact, not
Wetin
to
you carry go there?
wait till you just talk now, eh? Make her blow your mind. You see that rice and beans combination where you just talk, eh? You be like say make her get one podcast. Can't talk say the title na combination of beans and rice is bad for children from 5 years to 10 years. I never generalize the statement.
You don't realize that now.
Anybody will go here and go to say, are you serious? No wonder my picking go just the belly go just the warrior. I been don't
You get
talk.
what I'm saying? You get
I
it?
been don't.
You
To say,
get
oh,
it?
can you imagine? Now rice and beans they causes picking belly. Oh my matter don't finish. Oh,
Let
I
me tell
don't
you. Yes.
celebrate the matter. Everybody don't hear
Yep.
them.
Yep.
Meanwhile, now that
You're
same
right.
rice and beans you take grow up chop, nothing do you.
You want
Now
laugh?
that
My
same
grandma.
rice and beans, Iya Titi and Brother Wale ati Iya Shege, been they feed their children plus Iya
Benny.
Chidima, nothing do
Benny.
emo. But because you don't come get platform, can't talk say rice and beans from
Mhm.
it's not good for children from ages 5 to 10.
Everybody
Mhm.
go run with them.
I don't finish
Yeah.
the matter. Rice and beans, cut it off
They'll
from
say,
ages
nah, that
5
now
to
why
10.
my pikin no they grow. That
God
now why my
bless you.
pikin they do this.
Eh,
That now why they get break
eh.
out.
Now
You
so,
know what? I won't believe because she was talking before she turned 5. The
mhm,
moment she just entered that 5, her voice just go.
it's
Like the
everybody
rice
don't,
and beans.
everybody good. Meanwhile, if it be say that person, they find solution and combination of what else to add to rice and beans that
Right.
their children will enjoy. But
Right.
instead, make it talk say, say, now only rice and beans now I fit afford. And my children know they like them. I beg waiting I fit do. Talk that one, oh. Say, hear the story, oh.
And then
That
when
is
you see
what
what
he could
you fit
only
do, then
afford.
people go start to give you. They go say, you fit use that bean to
Yes.
moi moi. You fit
Yes.
do and do akara.
Mm.
You fit use that rice, do tuwon shinkafa, and use the
God
beans make bean
bless
soup.
you. And by the time you now start hearing everybody's opinion, that's your problem. For some people, will be problem, they go carry on like problem. For the one we won't come
Right.
give advice, you don't use the advice. For the one we get different opinion, you don't collect, but you don't send out that statement, you don't cause kata kata, and you don't solve
Right.
your own problem. But nobody gonna know
Right.
that story. Is that
Yep.
not what this marriage thing is all about?
Mhm. Yeah.
That's how it is. I one time my husband and I were going out very early, and I don't know, it was super early in the morning, and both of us just sat down in the car. And you wake up in the morning for crying out loud. Everybody's still
You have to boot.
one eye still day bed, one eye still day bathroom, one eye still day sleepers. No, none of the body don't enter the motor. You just the waka they go. And I just unconsciously was just looking at everybody that was driving. That was Most people were couples. Most people were not smiling. Most people had either their coffee cup or their mugs. And I was just looking. Any motorway go past me, we get two people and so good does it look. And for almost like 20 minutes, I did not see a conversation happening. I did not see a smile happening. Everybody was just in their zone. So I looked at my husband and he was focused on his driving. And I like listening to the news. So I put the news on my station and I started listening to it. And then when we listen to the news, something always comes out that makes us just jump into comment. Then we'll now start talking. Then it goes to Nigeria. Then we come back from Nigeria. Then we go to other countries. But, it peps up stuff like that. And I did that. And then when I finished, I just said, I'm sorry, can I just turn this off? And I turned it off. And I told him my observation. And then he was like, anybody that would hear that your analogy now, the next thing they will say is people are having problems in their marriages.
People are not happy.
People are
People
not
that wake
happy.
up in the morning that go to work are not
But they
happy.
have forgotten the fact that everybody
It's early.
it's in that, it's one of it, it's early. They probably all have different places that they're going to work at, and they're planning their day. They are planning their itineraries of what they're going to do in their different places. Maybe if they're both in the car, maybe somebody has to be dropped off, another person continue with the car. So many things. But anybody doing a research poll will be like, well, from the hours of 6:30 a.m. till about 8:30 in the morning, all
Couples are
married
sad.
couples have problems. And somebody can come up with that narrative and it will sell.
I agree.
Because it is the danger of a single story.
Over one single story, yes. I love driving. I love driving. I can enter the car and drive to Maryland now as I'm sitting down like this. That's how I am. I remember one time one of our friends came from Connecticut. She came for a baby dedication, wanted to go back. I'm like, don't go back today now. Go back tomorrow. I'll drop you. She thought I was joking. I don't want to both cars. The next day I said, oh, yeah, if you're ready, let's go. She thought it was a joke. That's me. My husband doesn't he doesn't like long driving. So if we're going anywhere that is more than 1 hour, you just see his face. So for peace to reign, I'll be like, if you want to follow me, please, 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 I'll drive. And he'll be like, if you drive, I will go. So now if somebody sees us, you're like, what kind of husband is that your wife is driving? But you don't know the deal. You don't know how we run our stuff. Like, if you leave, if you say I'm not going to drive, let me tell you, I'll sleep and leave you alone.
Mm.
Once that breeze start blowing me, I'll just sleep and
You're
leave you,
gone.
forget about it. But if I'm driving, I'll be awake. And if I have small music, be going. The other person,
Mm.
if I will like sleep, be awake like I don't care. I just like driving is therapy for me.
Mm.
So now somebody that sees will not understand. They'll be like, oh man, these people get issues. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, why? But why would he let her do that? No, bro, you don't know. Like, I love doing it. That's
Mm-hmm.
me. That's
Mm.
my thing. So people like sometimes like need to understand something. And you know what? And what I'm grateful for, right? My pastor, when they're talking about like issues, you say, and so what? Who doesn't have issue in their mind? You say, even all that be married for type something, we have issue.
Mm.
Like he'll preach about it all the time. He said if his wife start doing anything that she's pissing, he'll say he has a what did they use the word same word? He'll say BC you have started. Oh. BC,
Mm-hmm.
once he said that twice, she knows she's going extra mile, so she has to retract her step. You understand? So he just tried to tell like you have to normalize like it's not a bad thing. That's the way people figure themselves out. You understand? That's the way
Mm.
people figure themselves out. So it's either when you have those issues, you make it be your own learning platform or you let it break you. So it's up to
True.
you.
True. But you
So
know
it's
the
up to
thing,
you.
but you see, another problem why I see people will call marriage being a scam is nobody wants to do the job of learning anymore.
Nobody was putting the
Nobody
work.
wants to do the job of learning anymore. Everybody wants to, oh,
Ready made.
this is the system that worked for you, I'm going to adopt it. Okay, oh, that worked for you, I'm going to adopt it. And that is so wrong in marriages
Let me tell you one quick
because
story, right? My
mhm,
dad tried to do that because he had one of his friends that quote unquote had ulcer. So the man told my dad that in his house they don't cook with pepper. They can't even bring pepper close. Like his wife was banned from buying pepper.
mm,
And my father just came to the house. And he said, you know, pepper is not good for these kids. That's how they grow and they get ulcer. Nah, 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 nah. And then, unlike my dad, the guy just came home and said, you people should stop cooking with pepper in this house. It's not good for your hair. Da, 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 da. One day my dad ate and he threw up. And my mom was asking me, is he okay? He's like, the food felt somehow. Did she put small? She didn't put small pepper. He said, you say we should stop putting pepper inside food. He said, no, at least put small. Same person. Same person. Same person. So and that one, his family took it and ran with it. And my mom did say you it will now you go hit you, come back and tell us and make we change. So that's the
mm,
point. That's the point. It's just like people calling about like all this branding. Somebody will tell
mm,
you Balenciaga is my best. Somebody will tell you
mhm.
Balenciaga is the worst designer. Somebody tell you I don't like Louis Vuitton, it's too regular. Somebody will tell you Louis Vuitton is the best. I don't like Gucci. Gucci is ugly. Somebody is like, Gucci is the baba. That's how it is. So one man's food is another man's poison.
It is. It is.
When I stayed in
It's.
Abuja with my uncle, right? He wasn't
Mm,
married. I can't remember anything that this man ate his food and we took his food to the kitchen. He'd take it to the kitchen by himself. That was like far back in 2007 and go and wash it. And so one of his friends, niece came and she was like, Oga Musa used to take his plate to the kitchen. We were like, what's there? And she was like, her uncle would never, even if his spoon, he'll eat and leave it there. Somebody has to carry it. They've been married now for 20 something, they're still married. It's working for them.
exactly.
It's
But
working
somebody,
for them.
but somebody else will come into that and say, "What? How can you let him carry his plate to himself? After all, isn't not both of you that are doing the same work?"
Nah.
It's no
Every time I
people.
cook, I tell my husband food is ready. Can I bring food? He's like, when I'm ready, I'll put. He go and put his food by himself when he's ready. If he doesn't want to wash plate, he just put his food in paper plate, finish and throw it. Somebody that doesn't know now, you like, so this is what you're serving your husband with. Wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
Mm.
Modern day women. How will marriage last?
Exactly. I think
You can't,
you guys have been talking, and I've been quietly
because
listening
you can't even
because
serve your husband. They don't know that I can count how many times I finish cooking and he still serve me. Every day, like, come on, I'm not ready. I put it when I'm ready. I put it when I'm ready. So you that don't know, you be like, she will never serve me.
Mm-hmm.
God forbid.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of bride is
Mm-hmm.
that? I have to teach you how to treat a man. Eh?
Mm-hmm. In fact, your
What
mama
do
now
you
go
think?
first follow you vex. So now so I
Let
been
me tell
teach
you,
you.
when we first got married, right? We're in Nigeria. So I had one meeting to do in Abuja in town. So I went. So my husband was still on vacation. So my mom called him. She was like, where are you? Where's your wife? I've been calling her. So he was like, oh, she went to the city. She went to town. She has a meeting. And he was like, what are you doing? He now said he's making food. My mom said, don't start what you will not finish you. And my mama be that too. Now my mama be that. Hey, when she call me, I say, mommy, now God, I take it beg. I beg. This one not be your house. Now beg, I dey beg you. I beg. Just leave her to the runner. Uh-uh. No, you know you are so. I say, me, I go meeting person there of the vacation. About me, person cook. But to them,
It's
it's not supposed to be. No,
because
can
that
you tell
was
me what
not
is
the
not
world
supposed
they
to be?
lived in. That's not
But
the
they should
world they
understand that
lived in.
things are evolving. At that time, most of our mothers were not working.
True.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like when people say things like, "Oh, our this is our mothers used to do this. Oh, but this is how it used to be.
It worked
This is
for
the
them
best."
then.
But it worked for them. Are we saying that people don't evolve? Human beings are not meant to evolve. Even the person you married, right, is not the same person you have today. The
Come
way
on
the
now.
person
Even
was.
woman now, when woman will born 1 2 3, you go born like that before my mom used to wear size
Exactly.
0.
People they born like 14
My
children,
mom, I
21
think my
before.
mom wears size 20 now or 22.
Omo, yeah, make her shock you.
Hmm.
This one where everybody they talk say, man, they get side chick, they get side hen, they get side duck, they get side quack, they get side parakeets and side parrots. Back then, they no been get them.
They
How
get
many
now.
how many women you hear come out come they shout bangulu for Menwood?
No,
Exactly.
because they
They
don't
no
want to
go
leave their
quiet.
marriage.
You no go quiet. I'm not saying I'm not subscribing to it. I'm not saying it was nice. I will never subscribe to it. But what I'm saying is they had it. Plenty. They had loads of it happening.
Wasn't
But
it before that
but
if a man cries,
the
if
house
a
was in
man cries,
peace.
people will be scared for another woman to show up with kids. That was how bad their own was that time. Like a man will have like a whole second family somewhere that nobody knows about. After you cry, people will just show up with
Then
baby
they
and
will now
everything.
come to the graveside. You will now realize that it's not you that gave birth to the first son.
Exactly,
Another first son will
exactly.
show from the abyss.
And you know
And
go
I
fit
think you
talk.
want, yeah, and you can't say anything. But what is different is that I think it was on the show we talked about. What's different now is that people are beginning to like define life and marriage on their own terms. Let's
Yeah.
talk about what works for us. Let's talk
Mhm.
about what I will take and what I will not take. But during our parents' time, you're just made to understand that if you're marrying under the man, anything he says, that's what you do. You don't have a say. It was so wild for my people to see that when my parents have kids, my dad gives the tribal name, my mom gives the English name, and they come and ask, why would she have to give one name? And you know the husband is supposed to give the names. My father said, no, she carries the child, she's entitled to one. And my dad wanted to start the thing where he wants his children to carry his two names, like Charles Corey. My mom is like, no, why? They have to have their own two names, let them have their own identity. And then they'll have one last name from you. That's it. Don't stress my children out. And my mom will always want you to identify yourself as my name now, Susie Nato. She rather you do Susie Nato all the time and not always put your last name because that's who you are. The last name is where you're coming from. But first of all, let people first know who you are. You understand? So that time, like if the man come and say, we are moving to this place, you're supposed to pack your bag and follow. But now the wife will say, no, this place does not have good school district. How about we go here, and they now sit down on the table, draw the map again, and say, okay, let's see. But before, no, you can't. You just have to go. You're just like a goat. Tie your neck, just dey follow and they go. And even if it's going the wrong way, be following. Now go hit rock. Now turn back again. So the difference now is that people like are living on their own terms, and some people are not okay with it. And people just need to understand that. The world is evolving, people are evolving. People now decide what they want. Women now understand that I don't have to deal with what my mother dealt with at that time. So if the man is not ready to like come down and let's agree as a family, let everybody just go.
But to add to that, Nat, I also think the young couples of today are very lazy. They're not willing
I've
to.
always said that. I've
They're
always
not
said that nobody
willing
wants to do
to
the work.
work.
Not all of
No,
them.
they.
No,
Well,
not
no,
all
okay.
of
Let me not
them.
No, no, we're
generalize it.
not
Let me not
Yeah,
generalizing.
don't
generalize it.
We're not,
Yeah,
no,
generalize.
we're not
yeah.
generalizing.
Let me not generalize it. But a lot of young
The
people,
reason why, like
they,
mostly now,
yeah, they want to just take whatever solution had worked for one person,
yes,
not
and
thinking of the
apply it.
fact that, look, this solution might not work for me. So I do not necessarily need to adopt it. Let me try and look for my own solution that works for me
Right.
and is curated to my own situation and work with that. You know, my advice given to me by my very wonderful sister doesn't necessarily need to work for me because my sister's situation and my situation are not the same thing.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
but you also have to understand that I think where the young people are coming from, because I've seen it, is back then, right? We had the tendency to listen to our older ones. We had the
Mm-hmm.
tendency, they had our ear, right? So when
Mm-hmm.
they're talking, we actually listen to them, and in our own minds, we already say, okay, this is what I would want to work for me. So we take whatever advice, and then we had
And because,
mentors
yeah, because
around us. You had
yes,
aunties, you had mothers, you had grandmothers for some who were blessed to have. Nowadays, most of these young
now
people
Portable will be their
don't
mentor.
have, yes, they don't have that opportunity. A lot of it is coming from immaturity and lack of knowledge of self to a greater extent because there's no mentor around. Look at what people are putting out on social media, for instance. And they will always put out the bad, the negative. And if that's what people are gravitating towards, they're going to be dishing it more and more out to them. So before they come through all of that and get to the real people who are giving them the right advice, it takes a while. Look at Sister B's channel, for instance. With all the good work that woman is doing, she only has what 89 subscribers. But where you have women that are doing the opposite, total opposite, they're in the millions. That tells you something. So a lot of people are not, a lot of these young people are not surrounded by wise people. Sometimes they do, but because of the what's
Impatient.
it called, lack of concentration, is it attention, whatever they call it, short attention span, right? Social media is feeding them half the time. So sometimes they're confused. They don't know what to believe or what not to believe, what to do. It's almost like you have to tell them, well, even though I'm telling you this, you still have to make up your mind as to what you want to be, what you want your life to be, or what you want your relationship to look like. Don't tailor make it to someone else's own experience because that person is not you. Your husband is not the man that they're referring to. So they're not having most of that. I won't say all of them are not, but that's what I see. That's what I've observed with young people.
But you're right. You're right.
And also they want it to
That's
work overnight.
yes. They're
And
not
they just
patient
yes.
enough. They're
Yeah,
not patient enough.
if I say I don't want this, I don't want it to happen again. It's not possible. It's still gonna happen. It's still gonna happen. But for you to understand that you need to give that person time to be able to come around. That's the patience that a lot of people don't have. And
That's
that's what's
true.
affecting us.
That's true. And it's affecting us deep, especially for the next generation that is very flighty,
Right.
and what's the word? Industrialization and the computer generation has made it possible for you to operate from anywhere. So it's like wherever I am, if it doesn't work this way, then I move to the next and I'm okay with it. That stabilization is not such a big deal anymore. It's because everybody's like, I can operate from anywhere and I can do things from anywhere.
Exactly. Social
And
media.
yes, and it's
Yeah.
working for them. It cannot
Mm-hmm.
work in our own generation because our generation was like, okay, you have to stay here, build a nest, get
Mm-hmm.
stabilized, longevity. It doesn't work for this
Exactly.
new generation. This new generation is like, okay, it's working in Russia, I can go to Japan. It's working in Japan, I can go to Turkey, wherever.
That's right.
I can get everything I want. I don't have to be in one space to get everything done.
Mm-hmm.
And it's working for
You
them.
know, and like we were talking about the other day, those questions, like a lot don't ask the question. The moment you just see somebody like getting married, like the event, the venue, the dress, the everything, that's the only thing people envision. And they
Right.
forget, like, okay,
The
so after all of
ceremony.
that, what's next? Yeah, you just look at the ceremony. So after the ceremony, what's next? What are the plans they have? They don't have any plan. They just want to have that tag that they are married, to have that ring, to be in that
And
club.
you know, Natsu, that danger starts from the day she tells her mother or her father, I want to get married. Let's be honest. How many women that their kids come to tell them, oh, mommy, I want to get married? Sit down and ask the daughter,
Questions.
what
What do you know
investments
about
do
him?
you have? Do you have enough
Exactly.
money or enough things that can keep you guys going for 2 years if nothing comes into this marriage? This house you want to go and rent, can you sustain that rent in the next 5 years?
Mm.
This relationship you're building, where do you see this man? How do you see him in the next 3 years?
Mm.
Where do you see yourself? How many women? Instead, the first thing we think of, let's get the list of people that are going to come for the wedding. What
And
colors are
remember,
we going to
so
pick that day?
God forbid, let's say if
How many
anything
bags
happens
of
to them,
rice do we need to
settle.
nobody has asked the boy what genotype is he in the first place?
Mm.
Do they have mental illness in their family?
It will.
uh, which
They used to ask
which
all those questions back in the
they
days.
used to ask,
They used to
then go
ask,
send
oh, they
then go
even go
send
and
person go
investigate.
village.
No, that's what
Yeah,
I
they
was
Yeah,
go
telling you the other
investigate
day,
your
Omore.
family.
thank you.
Oh,
Then go
love,
I thought
love,
people used to call it
sorry, oh.
VGC.
May I welcome love? We have a new person now. Me, sorry, not vest. Love, welcome, welcome,
Thank you so
welcome. How
much.
now?
Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. Glad to
Hi.
hear your voice again.
Hi love, nice to hear from you.
Thank you so
Let's
Hi,
much.
hear,
I
how are you?
appreciate
let's
the
hear
love.
what
Thank
you
you.
got to say about this.
No, I'm still listening to the last caller. When she's done that, I'll speak.
Okay, good. All right,
I think
no
BBMJ was
worries.
talking.
Yeah, so I was
Earlier.
saying that nobody sits down to ask the nitty gritty question. Maybe this person has let me say something as simple as a rash at the back of his neck. Have you guys thought about treating it or things like that? Is it irritating you now? When
Mm,
he's yawning, does he yawn? Is scatter body for head? I mean, when the body starts scratching him, is he over scratching himself? The mama never asked that. Now, how much be the bag of rice? Where the papa they stay? Who be the papa? How is he influential in the society? If it
Yep.
find contracts for me, waiting be the color of their shebi. How many goats we go kill that day? We on our one go do on our honeymoon. Now who go sew the cloths? How many wrapper you want change that day? Which kind ring is he buying an oval ring or a diamond ring? Is he bringing cubic zirconia or is going to be gold plated?
Real
That
diamond.
is what they're all looking at, and it's so misleading because even if the lady wanted to think in that long term, because the focus is on here and now, she won't even have the time to even think about it. In fact, when they even come to tell you, okay, we want to get married, have you asked how long they've dated? Do they really know themselves that well? What's his say in the family? How do they receive you in the family? Not that it should matter, but in our culture, it does. How many mama they sit down, they ask all that kind of question? Our own are straight to all the material things, which motor they drive. Look, people cannot use that one to drive after you get married. You have to buy a new car
Oh
with your
my God.
tits.
VNJ, sorry, let me interject. One of my friends, her dad is a senior military guy. He's late now. The mom is late too. When her elder sister was getting married, the mom, a week before the wedding, went to see the house where the daughter will stay. That woman changed everything in the house. She said her daughter cannot live in this house, this type of couch. That one are my friend, not the outsider. I'm not joking. She went, changed everything. She said the couch is too local. And these people are still married to today. She said the couch is still local. The bed is King Kong, King Kong. I'm like, are you joking? It was so unbelievable.
Hmm.
But continue. Sorry, I just remember that. I'm
No,
like,
no,
let me
no.
tell
But
you.
that's what I think really happens. So we don't ask the right questions. So when the young lady is not being guided in the right direction, what makes you think that she's going to think of the bigger things when she into this new
Yeah.
life she's getting into? That's my take. Until boy,
Oh
yeah,
my
you
God.
did, yeah.
There's a guy that I dated, right? That he said that he doesn't want him and his wife to be in the same room. Everybody should have their room. Just listen. No, serious. Everybody have their room. And he doesn't want us to be in the same state. So like the
In the
woman in
same
America, like
states.
wait now, the woman in America like that, he likes it. I'll just be coming and be going and
Mm.
Kinikon. I'm like, first of all, what are you talking about? I don't care if my house has 10 rooms. We're having one room,
Hmm.
me and you. Period. We can take clothes and go and put in another room. But what are you
Mm-hmm.
talking about?
Mm.
You understand? So when he started saying things like that, it threw me off. The guy was like 10 years older than me. I asked him why he wasn't married. He said all the people that he has met that wanted to get married to were AS because he's AS. That was another red
Mm.
flag. I'm like, so
Mm.
everybody you met was AS. Ah, you bother. I'm like, wow. So yeah, he's like,
Okay.
he doesn't want. Yeah, I'm like, you don't want a wife that will stay in the same place with you. I'm like, that's a no-no for me because
Oh,
I
you
want to
make me
grow.
laugh. You make
Yeah,
me laugh.
and then like,
Love,
oh, I don't
love,
want a
what did
woman
you
that
have to
snores.
say, Jerry? Sorry,
I'm like,
that's
no
so funny.
problem. Yeah. Love, oh, love
I
has
hope
run
she,
to the kitchen to go and
she
bring
should
the
Love,
never.
food.
love.
Just wait. She'll come back now and tell you.
Are you on mute?
She probably
Maybe,
is.
maybe she's
Maybe her
on mute.
connection.
It's
Yeah,
bad. Mm.
yeah. Love, we can't hear you.
Oh,
Okay, okay.
yeah, her
She's gonna
I
be
connection was
back.
probably,
bad.
I'm sure it's her connection. Come
Mm.
back, oh love. Let's hear what you gotta say, because this is a very much
So
needed
that's
topic.
the sad thing. Like honestly, like Vivian just said, parents most especially. I've had three broken engagements before I got married. And none of
Wow.
Wow.
those ones that has happened here, my parents give me pressure like when the next one, I let this one happen. No, my father will tell me, take your time, take your time, take your
Mm.
time. Three. Yeah,
Mm.
and I didn't regret any one of them. Honestly, I did not. Because looking back, there was one I told you guys one time now. Like after everything ended, I found out that he fathered two kids with two different women.
Mm.
Yeah.
And you didn't know about that?
Mm-mm. I did American. I was in Nigeria.
Mm.
Yeah.
Man, I think it's our society. I think
It's our
it's the wrong
society.
thing. I think it's the wrong thing we project.
Oh no, people need to understand that marriage is not for everybody. That's just a
Mm-mm.
fact. There's a lady
I,
that we worked with. For a second, I thought she was not normal. She said that she doesn't want to get married because she likes her space. She loves the company she gives herself. And she just feels like allowing another person to come into that space and who doesn't understand her and give her that would be a problem. She wouldn't mind a
mm,
husband if they don't live in the same house. I'm like,
mm.
no, you're not. No, just be by yourself. You're fine. Just be by yourself. You are fine. So
Mm-hmm.
some people have come to accept that. But that's where people have issues because some people are like in love with themselves, in love with the company that they give themselves. But because the society has pressured them into getting married, now they get married to any other person that does not understand, that's not patient to study them. And now you come and you're like, she loves doing this. She loves being by herself. She does not do this. She does not socialize. That's who she is. That's who she is. You cannot change it. My husband can be in the house for 1 week and not go out, and he'll be fine. And he'll be like very fine. That's how some people are. My twin sister is like that too. She can be in house for 1 week, 2 weeks, and not go out. She won't care about anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what she went to party in 5 years. She went for a wedding once. That's
Mm,
her. But me, I'll be like, where is it happening? What time? Which area?
mm,
Because who is going? Who are we? You understand what I'm saying? So that's what
mm-hmm,
people are.
mm-hmm.
So because people are not patient to like studying each other to understand, and it's not like people are bad. Oh. People need to understand that we are raised differently. We all come from different backgrounds, and these are two people coming from different backgrounds to match.
True, true.
You
I
understand?
think I think it really boils down to what what stands out as important, what the older ones see as important. Because
Not too
I don't,
important past marriage and children. That's the little most important.
but you see, even in that marriage and things, I never see woman where they ask speaking say, why you won't marry? I've never heard any woman that any child, any mother that has asked that.
Exactly. And that's a
Why
very important
say
question
why are you get my see
to
when I
gauge their sincerity and if they really truly understand
what
what
they're
they're.
getting into. Oh my, what I'm saying right now, I remember it was my late father that asked me, and me and my dad were not always getting along. We need to see eye to eye. When I tell her and say, and by this time I don't old though, like in my late 20s, now I tell her and say I won't marry. My papa
Men
looked me
were
say,
so young. Stop it.
he looked me say, what do you know? He say, how do you know how to clean your? Can you wear your pants well? Do you know how to you know how to clean your bum bum?
Not
You say you
true.
want. You say you want to go and marry. Marry. You don't even say marry who. You say marry what? That's what my papa asked me. Say waiting you want marry. Waiting you sabi. Waiting you know waiting life be. Of course, you don't play on a way match. You don't do. You don't overdo. Making for no waiting in they do and waiting no good. Before you ask me that question. So we need to ask our friends and the people who want to say you won't marry. Why? Is it just to buy the cloth and wear?
You know wetin e be like say I no know the kind person wey I be na only God know as he take create me. E come be like say you know I get set of wisdom when be say I get friends that time when we just dey finish what's it called university. This particular friend of mine, she was gonna get married, so she told me, and I said, "Are you sure? Are you sure you're ready to do this?" I was asking her. She was looking at me. She's like, "You're the first person asking me this way." I'm like, "Because you need to be sure. Do you know what you're getting into? Do you really know this man?" I was asking her like an adult. Sometimes when I remember that, I'm like, "Well, why were you asking her all these questions?" Now, granted, I'm hoping she has a beautiful marriage because I'm not in her life. I mean, I don't know. I'm hoping she does. But at that time, I used to always wonder because some of these people get married and then when you see them like 2-3 years after, they look horrible. They look like a shadow of themselves. They look like they're not kept well. They look disheveled. No, I'm serious. Because they get married. I remember a friend of mine, a girl, one of my friends, I met her here. Her dad used to work for Chevron, so they were on this. You know how they move them around, so they were based here. So she said while she was in Nigeria, because she was in Nigeria, she went to school in Nigeria, grew up in Nigeria. While she was there, she was dating this guy from college, and they decided when they're gonna get married. So she told her dad. Her dad was like, "Get married to who? Why do you want to get married now?" That's what the dad asked her. She said she was looking at him like, "What's wrong with this man? I beg, leave me." Because she grew up with her grandmother, right? So she didn't really have that tight relationship with her parents because she was left alone in Nigeria. So she was like, "Why is he asking me all this question?" The man was like, "Don't get okay, you know what? Let me make a deal with you. Don't get married yet. I want you to come here, do your masters. After your masters, then see how you feel and let me know. Let's talk about getting married again. Let's talk about this again." She no agree. She now went to meet her grandmother, went to meet her mother, she was now working her relationship with her mother, eventually got married. She said, "Oh man, I regret that action.
Can
She
you
says, I
imagine?
regret it so much." She said, "I wish I listened to my dad." Because her eye can't see things.
When your
She
papa been they
can't
try tell him.
when the papa be
Shege,
dey tell her
shege,
say
show am shege.
exactly the guy show her babanla shege. Do you understand what I'm saying? She was not telling me, she said, "Oh my, that's one thing I regret. Every time I look back and I think about it, I have regrets. Like, why did I not wait?" She said she was in such a hurry. To her, it was like she had this fairy tale in her head, and all of that. So it's very important to ask those questions. Very, very put the person in an uncomfortable position because they're gonna look back and remember you for asking them. They might not like you
Yes.
because I don't think my friend liked me very much when I asked her because she didn't invite me for her wedding.
She will tell you you're jealous.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not even putting them in an uncomfortable position. It's just making them think.
some
I,
people feel it's uncomfortable. That's what I'm
ah,
saying. Putting them, some people feel uncomfortable you asking them that question because it arouses a certain type of fear and anxiety in them for no
you're
reason.
right.
Instead of them to explore and say, why is this question bothering me? Or someone who's self-aware, or self-critical. Like, why is this question bothering me? Really, for a fact, why do I want to get married? Do I really want to get married? Is it because I'm feeling lonely? Is it because I feel like having sex? You have to be brutally honest with you. Like me, for instance, if a guy tells me, "Oh Maria, I like you and I want to get married to you," I ask myself those brutal questions. I don't need anybody to, tell me, "Oh Maria, are you sure?" I ask myself, "Oh Maria, why you won't marry this guy?" Seriously. Now because you dey lonely. Now because do you want to have sex? Now conji they worry you. If now conji talk am, do you understand? Be very brutally honest with yourself. Okay, this person when they just say want marry you, so he know wetin marriage dey about. He understands say marriage is not just all about feelings, how I go feel,
Yes.
because those feelings
Yes.
go fade. Because I saw my parents are my yardstick for me. So I literally grew up in a home where I saw the changes in two people. Okay, those feelings will not be there. So I now say, you know what? Marriage is about duty and loyalty to me. It's not so much about the love feelings, those butterfly or those feelings are there for you to come together and do man and woman things.
And those feelings are
But
not 24 hours in a
and
day.
they're not 24 hours in a day. But your sense of loyalty and duty to say, this one, I don't already talk, say, na year go reach. However way be like your brother and sister. No matter how much you're offended by your brother, if you have that type of relationship, it's still your sister, still your brother. You can't cut it away. You can't say, don't come to my house. You feel vex. You feel turn eye when it dey pass. But last, you will still love her. For me, that's what marriage is about, but on another level with a different person that you have promised yourself and told yourself, this person, I'm going to ride with them regardless. As long as not be things, they not go do things when go remove your soul from your body or your spirit from your body, So those are questions that are very important. So yeah, I have asked and I've seen it happen where those who've been able to ask themselves those questions, they come to a point where they say, you know what, I'm not even marrying this person for the right reasons. Some people will come and say, nah, because the guy get money, let me be one marry and move. Not because I like kind like that. I've heard it. Do you understand?
And Omoye, growing up, there was a time that was actually a trending thing. People that were in their 4th year in the university, you go down to say by the time, first and foremost, by the time you don't do your 3rd year, you don't get person where say you won't end up with. As they finish youth service, everybody they ring bell. And
exactly.
I can't count how many weddings where I've been go that was sponsored by family, mother, father, because the couple wanted to settle down.
Yes.
And not settling down because there was anything fantastic, but just peer pressure. Yeah. Make my friend for follow come my
Everybody is doing it.
Everybody's doing it, so I want to do it. There was a time it was trending. Oh, and it was trending to the point of how many people they been come your wedding? How many people been get Ashwebi? There was a time it was trendy, just as it is trending now. But never, for the life of me, did I ever hear any of my friends say anything like, oh, I want to get married to him because in the next 3 years we can build a hospital. It was always like, oh, he's so nice, he's so cute, his family loves me. Everybody. Must that be the yardstick? There should be something more.
They will love you now. Why they no love for now? Now like they like you, not be saying anything. They're looking forward to the rice and the stew.
Exactly. And nobody at that point in time was educated enough or informed enough to appreciate that, after the first 2-3 years, 5 years maximum of the honeymoon phase, seriousness go set in. Can you live with that person? When wahala go enter, you go fit. If now one room when I degrade to come enter
and
now,
some people don't get shock absorber for pressure.
They no get. They don't even prepare themselves for shock absorber.
Yeah, so people don't show us over for pressure. So once they enter, they start seeing it.
Mm.
That's why my people it's easy for them to divorce.
So may I
Like
ask this
after this,
question again, since we dey talk this thing? Marriage, is it really based? Should marriage be viewed as love, feelings of love, which is, I mean, is okay, or is it a sense of duty and loyalty? Because you and I know those feelings, those butterfly, whatever it is that they call it, they fade, though they don't remain. Because when those things are not there, you need to be working it, both of you. You'll be setting date, time as they do now, date period, time to be together, maybe go and buy McDonald's, anywhere, anyhow, take a walk. Is it Should it solely be based on love, or should it be based on duty and loyalty?
Omoye,
Ma,
there's a difference between
she said, "Ma,
somebody being attractive and somebody being beautiful. An attractive person may not be beautiful.
that's true."
And a lot of times, a beautiful person is not attractive. Go anywhere with it.
Agree.
Someone that's attractive, quick, you go turn eye. Man, you see that girl leg? Hey, he set die. But person with that is someone that is beautiful, you go sit down, look and say, wow, see the girl eye. No be immediately you go see that girl eye. See as her skin fine. No be immediately you go see that skin fine. You can't hear as a person laugh. It gets to this kind ringing tone where I like. It different. When man come look and say, I want marry you, or say I like you, first and foremost, we don't cross the barrier of attractiveness. Because if you know been like you know for follow you.
Yeah.
The person will just, I go just say, man, I see waiting I like, make I go. Now, see, they know the person, you can't know whether I like this person reach to continue, I no like. And there they take start too. When you don't come past that stage, you can't say, I see 10 years with this person. I see forever with this person. You don't see the person finish. You don't see say, if this person enter one pangolo, two of us go enter die inside together. If this person, they do this in Kabu Kabu, I go, they follow you push. As the thing they do 20 for road. It takes a lot to get there. But before you even get to that stage, you have to ask yourself, am I that person that person can look and say, I see 20 years with you? Am I built enough for somebody to see me that far? Because as you're expecting, that's what the person follow the expect.
Benny, Bagam.
So am I just attractive to that person, or am I beautiful to that person in every area? I'll give a very, very public example. Davido and Chioma. Everybody they see as the things they happen. Now only that boy they see waiting in the sea. Where they say he go travel, go north, he go travel, go south, he go come back to that girl. You get one statement when it be make one time when person be ask him, and he say she accepts everybody. She never complains and she never backbites.
Oh wow.
That was what he said, and that thing stood in my head. So to the whole world, she is, this. But to him, I remember when this person, what's her name? The vice president was campaigning, and she said, I want to deal with the problems that wakes you up at 3 a.m. in the morning. Which kind problem they wake person up at 3 a.m. morning? Either health family, children, bills. That is what will wake you up at 3 a.m. That will make you stay up. It's not the plate breaking. It's not your lights going off. It's not your sprinklers not coming on. It's your health issues that will wake you up. And so for me, that Davido, now when you wake up for 3 a.m. for morning, the person that would give him that calm is that Chioma girl. So as you define this wonderful person, am I
You have to be that wonderful
beautiful?
person.
Period. And that takes you. That goes all the way.
Fact.
You know, Bibi, you said something the last time. Where you said that, I think it was, if one meat remain for plates, how
Hugo.
you go?
Mm-hmm.
Not be so you tell us the question.
Mm-hmm.
I did paraphrase.
Yes, sir.
That question boils. It
If
kind
you
of
want
ties
me to
into
remain
this.
for plate, say it again.
Bibi, help us talk again.
I
If
been
one
don't
meat,
say if one meat dey inside plate, you go give am to me, or you go share am, or you go chop am alone.
exactly. When you ask man, that also ties to when you see somebody. Can you do life with this person? If only una can remain for desert, everything when he gets, he don't be stripped of him. You go still like the person. Do you understand? Because come what may, when you get brother and sister, right? No matter what they do, they still be your brother and sister. Even if they offend you, even if they do something where no make you happy, you not fit deny, say no be my brother. You will still love them for your as your sister or as your brother. The same
That one
way,
na your blood.
exactly. Now a different kind of love for the other person from a different back. It's like an unconditional love for this person, right? Where this person and my and we dey here together, we ride together, we chop together, we go desert together, we see Gary and Granot, two of us sit down, we go happy, laugh, even if na Gary and Granot we dey drink. That person has to be that kind of person. Like, if you know they get that vibe about, say, this person, I dey see am for my future, as in I see us with a pound yam together. Maybe machine break down. Machine when they say you do pounded yam, let's say you like pounded yam, the thing break down, the guy will bring out mortar. Two of them will pound them together.
That's
That
right.
kind of level, nitty gritty. Can this person, can he get his hands dirty? Like if you guys need to
Because
get
of
to
you.
work, get farm, or something, can he do? Because those things are very important.
Yeah.
Because
You know, my dad used to
I
go
can't
ahead,
realize, say, for my parents, because now they be my yardstick, right? My mom and my dad had a taste start. Now one room, face me, I face you. Let it start. But they how they take build such family, 7, feed them, clothe them, send them to school, and still be able to respect and
Each other.
respect each other and be there for each other. My papa no dey take my mama play. If he talk to my mama anyhow, as in the fit no agree. If you talk anyhow about my mama for outside, my papa go respond to you. He protect her from a family. When the family they come, they try to impose. He puts draw line for them. He say, if una talk too much, una no enter this house. And my wife be this. If una no like an all transformer. Do you understand? I saw that as a child growing up, right? I'm not going to allow you to insult my wife or disrespect my wife. When my papa they walk that time, when they will call, maybe they ask, my papa go from office call. He will say, my oga wants to talk to you. My mama will collect phone for your hand. He will talk. Before that time, when my dad used to travel to the UK, the type of work he did, right? He go send telegrams to my mom. Right? He will take pictures, he will send it to my mom. I'm telling you, right? When she had my baby brother at the time, all his colleagues now took a picture, sent it with congratulatory messages, and sent gifts to her from the UK. When he needed to travel somewhere, my dad spoke to her to get her permission before he could go. I mean, this is a traditional man, oh, please, you people should understand. This man is a traditional man that believes that money is him that is the sole provider. It's only him that will take your family. It's
But he
only him,
respected his
but
wife.
he respected his wife. There were times that we didn't have, maybe there was no harvest, enough harvest. Maybe we had to fry gari, and go to the farm and collect the tomatoes and pepper, water leaf, make small soup. Maybe there was no meat in the house. We will do and with mushroom, we will cook am. My parents will eat the food like that. My mama go eat, you go, they satisfied. Relatives of my mom used to tell her, this man does not buy you clothes every year. He does not buy you this, doesn't buy you gold, he doesn't buy you trinkets. Why are you still with this kind of man that cannot afford to take care of you? This one, that one. He go enter here, he go come out for the other one. You know, my mom used to tell them, the peace of mind that I have with this man, I cannot exchange it for just money. Money doesn't mean anything for me.
For anything. And
So this is something I
I'm
saw
like that
growing
too.
up. Exactly. So if I don't feel like I can be like that with you as a man, if I don't see that about you, right? I don't know if I can go the extent, I can go the length with you, because I'm not one of those who believes I want to get married tomorrow, I'm taking of divorce. Like once I make that decision, it's a final one. I know they look back. That's me. That's just who I am, right? And because of the way I was raised. So it is marriage to me is extremely important. Because nowadays people are very fickle about it. They take it for granted. They're very I can go and go. If it doesn't work out, I can just get out. They speak English.
No, they look for what will I get.
Exactly. Like, oh, let me
Like
just.
that.
I remember I met a guy who said he wanted to get married to me, right? We were talking, and then the issue of divorce came up. He now said divorce is not a big deal, oh. That if he feels like the wife is not giving him what he wants, I beg, he's not meeting up to the standard, he's not doing this, he's not doing that. So you will call, you not get part when you will play for inside. If the woman, what about you? He said it's the woman that takes you up the phone now. If the woman cannot, that was the end of our conversation. When he asked me, I said, I'm not interested. I don't want, not you. I want to marry, but not be you. You are good for somebody else, not me.
Because you can imagine the mindset he's already coming with.
Thank you.
You never enter here to see what's in the on top in head.
See what's in. So that means when we enter, you go to plan
the exit. Write your name with pencil.
Thank you. You go use eraser. Once the thing finish. I don't get that kind of power. So many people come and they want to get married, but they don't know what it means.
No, they don't know what it means.
They don't know what it means. So
they
expect to say they want to get married, but they don't know what it means. They don't know what it means to be there, to be loyal to your family, to put it above, as in, this is my family, I rock with my family. They don't know what it is. I've met a few men like that, and it begs the question. So sometimes when people are talking, they're very flippant. I want to marry you. You don't even know what marriage means. I ask them, why do you want to get married? Why? Is it because you're feeling lonely? You gotta be honest. Is it Konji that's worrying you?
They want
Because you gotta be honest. They want kerewa. Because once you kerewa, the kerewa, it go clear for your eye now.
And the kerewa, if they tire person,
you know the funny thing.
Exactly. After a while, it will tire you. You know what do you for body? You go just look at it and say, I beg you.
Now you go
don't you have anything better to go and read a book? Listen to the news. Get newspaper.
Yes.
Read a novel. Go for a drive. It go tire you. So back to your question. For marriage, the commitments, the loyalty, the integrity, the honesty. If you no see him with that person, titi lie, no bother.
You will never see it.
If you no see him for that person,
even
body.
If you enter, I know see him.
And even when you don't even enter, finish, open your eyes, say, body they change you. Head they change. Mental health, they do person something for body. Woman will drop pikin, no be the same thing again. No, you drop that pikin, your body don't change. When you don't go past the stage of saying they drop pikin, menopause can't enter. Now different phase be that too. And the men follow get their own safe. So as the man they enter, making no say, no be this a younger body where you get, so now you go carry titi laila you. No be this body wey stand so like waiting like Olumorok. Now you see, so you go one day go drop. Oh, according to my friend, you go turn to slippers. How you want take them? You go still love that slippers as you take like them. You know, as you go get one comfortable shoe where we say you feel wear that shoe
You go
any
wear am
day.
until the shoe scream.
You go wear the shoe. In fact, you go they look for how to preserve the shoe because the free shoe just they comfortable. You don't follow you waka as your leg they change as they wrinkle as they dirty. That shoe don't understand every color for your body. Now so the marriage they be. That person supposed to know you and you go see him. Now make me they talk say, look, women then sabi, we just they lie to ourselves. Every woman knows, even small girl, your instinct will tell you. You know, but you just say, "Hey, go change."
When I talk that one, some people go say, "No, don't say that. That
Nah,
just
lie.
say you are like that." I say every woman get this thing. Me get
Everybody,
now.
every woman gets.
When you go ask them, say, "Come, did you not see this thing?" When they don't cool down, you come ask them, say, "Come, but wait first. You not first see." Go say, "I see him. I know feel like I see him. Now me just now because I want." No many women don't come and tell me that kind of thing.
My friend got married at 26, right? When the guy was doing all his shenanigans, I said, didn't you see that? She said, yeah, but I was just thinking, where will I start from at 26?
Oh. The one where I've been here be say, I've been with him for such a long time. How can I start somewhere else again? Really?
Didn't I tell you guys about my friend that was dating the guy for 19 years?
We use
knives, scissors, everything to cut the relationship. And I told her, I said, if
19 years,
this guy go marry,
that one anniversary.
But you see, I feel sorry for such a person because it's like for that kind of relationship, you need to take them out. You need to remove them completely, put them into different worlds. Because she don't overbuild waiting day her head. Waiting her dream don't turn to reality for her eye.
Yep. No,
and her environment has really rocked her to bottom for her to even want to continue to take that.
Yep.
So it's
I'm like, are you guys okay?
Okay, a good example is this celebrated case of Annie Dibia and Innocent. She won't tell me say she don't know.
She knows now.
So when they come out, they holler, they shout, I go say, okay, she's not trending. She needs something to make her trend. Let's make noise.
Yes, of course.
And people that don't know the story, everybody, the online in-laws, how we did it, but you knew.
I just want to cry for her sometimes. I'll just say some people don't know how to some people don't know how to air their issue. Some people don't know how to react.
You know what? I think she's not surrounded with people that truly love her, including her mother.
That's another problem. Yeah.
I think she's not surrounded with people that could truly love her. Because if she had people that were really sensible and truly loved her, she would, or maybe she's just the type that doesn't like listening.
That's another thing.
It's one of those two. She doesn't just want to listen because you knew. And what you saw happening, you didn't expect it to. It's like somebody that has acne problem from when you were a little girl, and you're now in the 50s and thinking that one magic cream is going to get all those hyperpigmentations in a matter of months. You're joking. It doesn't work like that. You need to go and, except you won't put new skin. It doesn't work. If it took you that long to get this, it's going to also take you a long time to get it off.
It's just like you buying a car and thinking the car will never break down. It's never going to get old.
Or going to buy a second-hand car and thinking this is going to perform like the one, maybe tear rubber.
The new car. It's not. And
it doesn't work like that.
Because I have bought a certified used car and I bought a car from someone else. Those certified used that I've had, the only thing I do is oil change. But you see those ones where I don't carry for person for roadside. The money where I spent for the PS, I had to be upset I sell you another one.
But you cannot say you're surprised by it.
No. Why?
Because of the source. You knew. So I think a lot of times, especially women that are a little bit older in age, and then they come out crying wolf, or they come out telling the world a different kind of story and expecting some pity party. I'm
Even
like,
the marriage is a scam.
exactly. You knew. People don't just wake up in the morning and change. There were traits of it. You
Now,
just refuse to see it.
I've always said it. If you see a water that is sour, there's something in the water. Water no dey sour like that. Water no dey sour like something must be inside that water.
Or if you
You
see
can
water where they drip, drop, drip, drop, drip, drop. Now something they hold them back from dripping, dropping.
before
It's either
before
turn the tap well, or something they block the pipe. It's
Exactly.
only a
okay.
matter of time. That's strength and push of water. One day everything go just pour comot.
You
You
know,
know
my
go talk.
dad used to
You know
tell
go
us.
talk. So you know.
My dad used to tell us something all the time. He said, even when we were younger, I said, if you want to get married, right? Aside getting married to a guy that loves you, marry a man that is kind and have the fear of God. He said, because you see this life, that's why I always, when people say kindness, I always emphasize on it. He said, because there are times that some things will happen, that love no go dey there that time.
Mm-hmm.
But now that fear of God, that kindness with it, they go say, you know what? I get deal with this woman. I get
Mm-hmm.
commitment what I don't do already.
Mm.
I don't want to mess this up. I have to stick to it. Okay, let me just be patient with her. It's just like if you have a woman that gives birth, I don't understand what it is, and then she has postpartum, and they'd be like, "What's wrong with this woman?" I had a friend 2 years ago that had a baby. That was their first child. The husband doesn't even know what postpartum is, first of all. And my mom has had it, my sisters have had it, so I know what it was. So I go to bathe the baby every day, and I noticed that sometimes she just break down like that and start crying. And the guy would sometimes come back and would say, the wife didn't give him food. She didn't make this. One day he just went out. He escorted me leaving. I said, do you know what postpartum is? He said, waiting be that. No joke. This guy, this is even America. And I explained to him and I said, I need you to do something. For the next 4 weeks, I just need you to do something. Be kind to your wife. She had to text me to ask me, did you tell your husband something? I said, why? She said, because when he came to that, he became a different person. So now
Wow.
because he didn't open himself to know if your wife is pregnant, you have to read a lot of stuff about pregnancy. How will people change when they give birth? What to expect? Like it was my sister that taught me that. My sister will Google everything and read everything. You understand?
Mm.
So my dad will be like, if things happen, it takes a kind person not to leash out some things on you. It takes a kind person to hold some things back and be like, you
Mm.
know what? Now fight with the fight to go reconcile. Man, also something where I go regret later. You understand? It takes a
Mm.
kind person not to raise hand on you. And when I was 8 years old, my mom gave me my first marriage lesson. There was like issue that time. My dad was not paid. I think for like 3 months or so, but he does like vet stuff on the side. So my mom was not telling him that we don't have this, we don't have this, we don't have that. My dad said okay. So do my hustle now 2 days, but no answer her again. So I think the guy was feeling the pressure of not being able to provide for his family, like. So when she now she I told you we don't have this, but my dad just first time he just said, they never pay. I don't tell you, you don't hear me. And my mom just said, okay. Went to the kitchen, made something, my dad went out. When she finished, the first thing she said, bring your father plate. I said, and I asked her, I was 8 years old, I said, who you want give food? The person just vex, come out for her. No joke. I said I was not going to go and bring his plate. She said, let me tell you, the job of a woman is not just to collect from her husband. Another job that you
Mm-hmm.
have is support. So if that's why, that was where I got my first lesson. My mom said, that's why you see I have a job, I have this shop. The day that your father does not have to bring, at least I have something to. That was my first marriage lesson at 8 years old. That was my
Bam.
first. I
Solid
said,
lesson.
I said, food
Solid
for who?
lesson.
Person we just vex come out. She said, yep, go and bring it. I said, hey, come and sit
And
for me.
that's a fantastic lesson, as in it's
I
not
was confused.
everything you pick on.
No.
It's not
Yes.
everything you pick on. You choose your battles. The one way
That's
go
what it
break
is.
your head, you know as
Yes.
you go take handle am. The one way be
Yes.
saying I just slap for hand, you feel waka pass am. You no go dry the blood within your body. But a lot of young people today, they don't understand that. Now everything they want lagoro, you go ring the bell, make town crier come out. And it doesn't work like that. Some things you just like, okay, it's not going to reduce how much I'm going to. But some things you come out and make noise about. But it's not everything you pick on.
And even
And
when
in
you want
this,
to make noise, you have to be diplomatic in making the noise.
exactly.
Because
The young
even
people don't know that.
small picking where you want correct. When I was growing up, I was very stubborn. My mama beat me so and they do stuff and they say, last, you just beat me. Chicken, I will just pass. Like it was bad like that. So my mom trained all of us differently. My twin sister, I don't have to beat her, I just scream. Just scream at her, she will enter her shell. That's my twin sister. My younger sister, just make her to do work. She will not repeat that thing tomorrow. But you see me and my elder sister, that koboko must first reach us before our brain go reset. You understand? So she didn't bring us up the same way. Everybody has the way she punish everybody is different.
Now, true, I did see as they say they flog you. True, you be like that kind of speaking. At least I did see I see her for your body.
That's I honestly that's why I'm
Because
very
your
nice to my
mouth,
parents now.
my God, your
That's
mouth
why
is
I'm
which
very
kind
nice to my parents now. And that's why everything from my parents passed because I was the only person in the house that they called to our school.
Mm-hmm.
Principal summon my parents. I know Yale. You will pay
Mm.
school fees for 2 years. They collect school fees for 2 years this time now. Until my cousin can find out who be teacher. My ain't go report. So just leave my that's why I'm very, very nice now.
You know what my mama tell me? When my mama been there, like when I go tell her saying I'm picking this for my mama go say, you never say anything yet. 10 times you go say, wait till you do me. When your picking go bless you over and over. I go say which kind talk be this. He go say, no worry, no touch that picking, no touch that picking. Wait till you do me. That picking go do you 10 times over.
Yeah, you know what? Hear that prayer.
I no follow am argue. I go just gentle say, okay, mommy, sorry, no vex. Say, it's too late. You don't born. You don't born the picking already. Too late. That's what my mama
Let me
made
tell
it.
you, my elder sister, when we first came back to Nigeria, she used to call my mom mommy, and her siblings call her auntie. So she started calling my mom auntie, and my mom said, "I'm not your auntie, I'm your mom." So she started calling her auntie mama. Then my elder sister has a baby now. You know that her daughter started calling her auntie mommy.
Mm-hmm.
No joke.
You ask
She
her where
say
you hear
mommy.
from.
People in church say auntie. She say auntie mommy or auntie Dickness. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this mom.
Mm.
Yep. So
Mm.
it comes with it. I'm telling you. So the earlier people learn, the better. And I used to say it all the time. I'm so glad I didn't marry at a very young age. I'm so glad. They put away me come out.
Because the lessons you have learned now over the
Yes.
years is what is
Yes,
making you
because
enjoy your marriage. That's so true.
maybe see, maybe every picky way you go to scream for go to hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Like my own, that beating, I know they mind them, but I bet you wake me for night for family meeting. I know they like that kind of thing. If they do family meetings one night, I'm not gonna commit any offense for the next 3 months because I can't stand it. Because nobody could come knock door, come help you if they beat you. Because by night, because by night time. So no, I can't stand that. I don't do that. Mm-mm. So it's the same thing. Like you just have to be diplomatic. Have to have a final way of saying something if you want somebody to hear. Not
Yeah.
every person when they sing, they scream. If they
Mm.
scream, they sing, they scream. Not be song they sing now.
And at the end of the day, when you scream finish, nobody really enjoys the music because all they heard was the voice, not
Exactly.
the words of the
Ex-
song.
And they were even paying attention to the off key that you were going. You just be
Mm-hmm.
seeing it on their faces.
It's just making
Off
noise.
key, off key. Exactly.
So, Auntie Moye, I'm going to take my leave, but I
Now God's
thoroughly
weapon.
enjoyed this. And I don't think, I think anybody saying marriage is a scam is a single story of that person. It's that person crying out for a little attention. It's that person bringing out their problem without wanting the world to know what they're dealing with. It's that person coming to seek free opinions from people. and it's that person just discrediting the institution and kind of distracting people from the main problem. That's what I think.
Okay, before you go, also,
Mm.
what do you think about the question? You guys haven't really answered it very clearly.
Which one?
Marriage. Now,
Mhm.
love, now important. Pass. Love, question mark, exclamation mark on both sides.
Mm.
On a sense of duty and loyalty.
I
Or
want
the
to
three.
I want to say, even before the love, that overrides the love is likeness.
Right.
Because if you like me, then you can accommodate anything.
You can tolerate something.
You can tolerate anything. So I want to say it starts from the likeness. And then the love plays a huge part. But then you cannot override the sense of duty, the sense of
The sense
integrity,
of loyalty.
and the sense of loyalty. All
It's
of it
all
has to come.
interwoven.
It's all
It's in
interwoven.
there.
Nothing outshines one. That's my understanding. That's what works for me. Nothing outshines one. Because, and I say that with every intention, because it's not every day you go around smiling in the house with your partner. Then both of you
No.
are clowns.
Mhm.
And you're in the wrong profession. You should be out there in the circus making money. Both of you are not walking around as clowns. There are serious times. There are times where issues come up that, like that place in the Bible that it says that you do not allow the sun to set with you in a provoked state. I
Yes.
say there are times there are very long sunsets. Yes, you don't allow yourself to go to bed in a provoked state,
Angry.
but there are times that sunset is very long.
Mm-hmm.
When it ends, is up to both of us.
Yeah.
So everything interwoven, it's a bit of everything. And at some point in time in the marriage, one is stronger than one. At some point in the marriage, integrity is stronger than the love. Integrity is stronger than the loyalty. For instance, where a man is in a profession where there are so many women and that man is good looking, it's the integrity, the loyalty you owe your wife, the integrity you have for that marriage union that keeps you,
Discipline.
the discipline. Because truth be told, you go see person way fine pass your wife. Now only you go fit see him.
Absolutely.
But because of that commitment, we don't make your wife, now that's your wife, now they shine for your eye. Even if that your wife resemble Yokosuno compared to the colleague within your office. And that commitment will carry go. That integrity will keep you going.
That's right.
Let me share with you guys before you go, baby. One more thing. Let me share with you a video I saw recently. So there's a couple I see on YouTube. I kind of like them. They're fun in their own way, the way they do things and stuff like that. They're very real. They just, they're real. They show you the mess. They show you the fun part and the mess. Now, so I was, because on TikTok for you page, different videos come up, right, as you scroll. So they came up on this video, and apparently the wife, they bought, I think he bought new clothes for his wife, and she was trying it on, and somebody had a very negative comment and said no clothes they even look good on her body or something like that. She doesn't look good in
Yeah.
any of the clothes. Very, very ugly word, right? So she and her husband now both came on and did a video responding to the person. And he said he was one who responded. Oh my God, see how much I love that. The man said to the person, responding to the person, say, you see this woman standing here? If you buy for the woman, on top of the woman matter. You see this woman when they stand here for 4 children, and she give me. You see this woman when they here, so if I tell you how she don't hold me up, you no go talk, make this kind of comment when you make. You see, I don't go check your profile. I look everything. You be single mother. Only you they raise pikin. My question be say, where the man when you born that pikin for? Why be say now only you?
Wahala.
Hey, if you see the response, or more, Now pigeon it take respond, but he shake up, he shake ground. I say
Yes.
correct man.
Very
The
good.
woman was at the back. You know, when you were in school and you have an older brother that's big, and somebody came to look for your trouble, and you go and look for that your older brother, and you're behind your older brother saying, "Yeah, you said it. Yes, go, brother. Punch her, now so true, true. Oh yeah, you know, you want to get out now. So the woman, she was like a child behind him. I really, really thoroughly enjoyed watching. I watched it a couple of times. I was like, this just warms my heart.
And Anomoye, for that woman, she will walk a mile and some for that man.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
She will
She will
walk a
beat
mile
person.
and some for that man. Because that man just, I mean, put her in this beautiful pedestal and raised her up for the world to see.
I'm telling you. I mean, it warmed my heart.
And so for such people, that secret that got them there might not necessarily work for me.
Exactly.
And to their neighbors around them, they might not be doing things conventional, but it's working for them.
For
And it's
them.
getting them good results.
That's it.
That kind person we no understand them, go say their marriage in a scam. Say the woman you don't put her through much, but make the man for chop, may you no gree see road again.
Yes,
No be so. Oh, you go say which juju where you put them, which food you take cook, which kayamata you use.
No be juju. Sabi no be medicine.
I'm telling you,
Abi,
now to your head, dear. Sabi no be medicine.
Sabi
yes,
no be
so
medicine.
but waiting work for both of them might not necessarily be the recipe for another person.
Right.
Absolutely.
So each person get to sit down, you go look your circumstance. You go know wetin dey work for you. You go use that one. Now make me they talk say, person when they call, say make you go settle marriage trouble, and that person carrying two left leg enter that family house. He do himself,
Big time.
He do himself well. You go tell the people, say, look on a 12 and I'm not gonna look on herself. Like my therapist been telling me, write down 10 things you don't like, write down the 10 things you like. Discuss.
That's it.
Hey.
Turn out to game. Monopoly game.
Make everybody settle and kaya. Because now you know where they do you for body. Nobody fits no one for you. Even at the time my picking say, when my
picking go leave for house, now you know where your house they
when my picking go tell me say make I pray, I go tell and say, mommy if you pray, but mommy know they read your heart. Exactly. I don't know waiting the cocoa be inside your heart. Exactly. I go pray better based on waiting I see, but now you know where they affect you, so make you pray your own prayer. No be so? Yeah. So the same thing. The love, the likeness, the integrity, the loyalty, the companionship, it's all mixed up. You take a certain amount at each point in time and know how it works for you. You know at what point in time your marriage is, and you know what is flaming for you at that point in time. Do you understand? And it works for you. I've seen where I have a friend that said, I have better conversations with my husband on the phone than face to face.
Oh.
Believe me. She said, I have better conversations with my phone. I can be on the phone with my husband for 10 hours, but it's difficult for both of us to sit down for 1 hour and have a conversation. Anybody will go hear that one go to say, really? That doesn't sound good, but it works for them.
Absolutely.
Who am I to now say, you know what? There must be something wrong somewhere. Are you sure you're wearing the right clothes? Exactly. You're not sitting down in the right. Who am I to say that?
Exactly.
So
there's I think I don't know who has seen Sex and the City here.
I have. Which one?
Okay.
The movie or the
movie. So
I saw the first one. I didn't see the next one.
I didn't see the second. I don't think I saw the second one myself. Mm-hmm. But that first one, there was towards the end, I think, where what's her name? Bradshaw. This lady, Carrie Bradshaw. She got to a point where she realized that every marriage is different, right? For her and her husband, sometimes they like to spend time apart. That would mean maybe her checking into the hotel sometimes away from the home and the guy doing his own thing. right? That works for them, but it doesn't work for everybody else.
True.
There's a particular person I knew. She was complaining because her husband likes to spend time by himself sometimes. And sometimes he wants to sleep in a separate room, in the guest room. Sometimes she wakes up and the man is in the guest room. The man will be downstairs. When it's time to go to bed, she will say she's going to bed. The man says it's coming. Next thing we'll see her for. So she was really complaining bitterly. And she was saying this, and I said to her, I said, maybe that's his thing. Maybe he's just one of those people that likes to spend time by himself
By
sometimes.
himself.
Why don't you talk to him? You might be
So didn't
surprised.
she know
Talk.
that before the marriage?
Maybe she, you know what the problem was? She was trying to measure up to someone else's marriage. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Comparison,
another
right?
problem.
So she was like, this one husband, they always now say, no talk like that. You know whether when they did seven, they beat each other before they sleep. You don't know. You know they sleep inside the room with them. You don't know your husband like his space. He give them the space sometimes. You understand? No impose the guy. You say he's a great guy. He provides. He's this. He's that. He's all these great things. This one thing you're holding on to it too much. When you don't go hold on to it too tight, they will come. They
And then when they say
discuss.
pick your battles,
Exactly. I said, don't do that. Not you're not gonna. Everything is not going to be prim and proper. Sometimes let the team breathe too. Yeah, if you need time, get time, get time. You say take time to be yourself. Do
Mm-hmm.
manicure and pedicure or something before you go to
that's why
bed.
you need your own life. Do your own thing.
That's it, exactly. Maybe you get on the phone with your friends, talk to your friends and say, not to guess what to come, bless we'll go club tonight. That kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
so I really appreciate you, BBMG. I mean, you have really dropped so much knowledge on us. In fact,
BBMJ was just dropping today.
I'm telling you, I'm so glad about that we're talking about this because I think we need more and more conversations like this to
Mm-hmm.
encourage young people out there, or if you're still waiting to get married and all, don't be discouraged, please. I beg. All those when they say married now their own they talk. No use your life measure another person. You are unique in your own way. Now wait till
Like,
you want, then you
yeah,
go get.
sure.
And one last thing I would like
Mm,
to, share. It's important that every female have a hobby.
Yep.
yes,
Get
Yep.
into a
Yep.
hobby.
yes.
It could be gardening, it could be drawing, it could be writing, it could be knitting, it
My
could
hobby is
be
making money.
I've been my sister secure the bag. Because
Listen, listen.
I like your hobby, but get a hobby that makes you sit down and relax,
yeah.
not where you're thinking.
Now only
I
Mm.
money. Oh.
I
Now only money, my sister.
I
You
better
don't
leave
understand.
Natu. Natu is trying to secure
that's
the
no
bag.
vex, no vex.
She's planning for
But
retirement.
I truly encourage that because
Mm.
I have seen that it's such a see when Pekin don't reach 13, 14, 15, they don't need you.
Mm-mm.
They just need your guidance.
That's it. They
You
become
just
independent.
they become
Mm.
independent and they really don't want you in their space.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point in time, even if you've been they walk, you go just fine say, now only walk you they do. You're picking down, get time for you. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-mm.
And at that time, too, your husband might be like, okay, I they do this kind of thing. You will just see yourself say, okay, wait till I do. I don't come back from work. Wait till I go sit down and do now. And you end yourself doing nothing. So I
Yeah.
encourage people, get into a little kind of hobby. Get into
If now
something
you
that
choose
just,
podcasting, something,
yeah,
something you love,
do
podcasting. I like to
something.
read too on my downtime. I like to
Yeah,
travel. I
read,
haven't been able to get
read.
around to it, but I love
You'll
to
be
travel too.
amazed. I have one friend that likes volunteering in preschools. She could
Aha.
just go. That's her fulfillment. 30 minutes, 45 minutes, it don't finish.
Yeah.
Oh, my other
Because,
hobby na babysitting. That's true.
see,
Exactly.
so
There we
something
go.
that gives you joy so that
Mm-hmm.
you are not totally codependent
Mm-hmm.
on something else or on somebody else. I wanted to, and I'm only getting, I wasn't like this, but I'm learning all these things because of what I'm dealing with right now. And
Right.
I'm not ashamed to say that, yes, I am in therapy. I get my therapy all the time.
I
But
say
I
that with
would
my full
suggest
chest.
I would suggest one book to everybody if they can read it. Conquering Shame and Codependency by
Give me
Darlene
time as well
Lanza.
now. Save my checker.
Okay.
Conquering.
Please. Conquering
Conquering shame.
Shame and
Yeah,
Codependency.
it just came up. So
Conquering shame and go depend. Abeg,
Code,
may I write am down? Una no vex.
Omoye, you go read the book, finish it. You go carry bell, the ring as they go for main road. And it's such an easy book to read. You can finish it in one day.
That's
Con-
oh, you get audiobook.
you can get audiobook. Conquering Shame
Yeah,
and Codependency.
I've seen it already. So
It's a
and code. Okay,
beaut,
8 steps. Darling,
Darlene Lanza.
darling, Lancer. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So everybody, we women, look, we are so powerful, but sometimes we really downplay our energy because of where we put ourselves. A
and
lot of
the
women
saying,
don't know
the
that.
saying that says, you lie on your bed the way you make it, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's marriage, right? Because if you're coming into it, how you don't men, you tell them what to do and how to treat you. If you just give them any break to do any shenanigans, that's it for you. They will take it and run with it. So if
They
you
will build a
enter,
house with it and even make a driveway.
they feel they do Airbnb inside. Sef. But I'm telling you, but
Oh
that's
my
the thing.
god.
So the way you make it, that's what's gonna be for you.
True.
That's
True.
true.
Omoye, darling.
Ododoro.
Make
My
I
sister,
wakajare. Thank you
God go
so much. I
bless you. Thank
enjoyed it.
you. I really, I really, really appreciate your contributions. They were very great and powerful.
Auntie Natu, thank
you.
you. Have a very good
Me,
evening.
I'm after you.
Enjoy your weekend, my sister.
Thank
We will
you.
talk
Thank you.
again. Yeah.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Natu, my love. Make we wrap this baby up.
Based on your question on that thing, right? This whole thing is interwoven. It's like a job.
Okay.
Like if you're doing a job and you don't like, you always want to go out. But if you're doing a job that you like and you don't want to leave, you'll be looking for a way that you stay at the top, so that you be climbing to the top of that ladder.
Right.
You understand? So if you're not contributing anything, you can't be waiting for promotion. When somebody was hired for a manager in my other job that I was thinking I would get that position, but I wasn't given. I was upset with my boss, but I was upset with myself again because I didn't give him anything to give me that. The things that I gave him, I didn't give him enough to say I will trust you with this.
Right.
So if you don't love, if you don't like, you're not even going to go into the right. See, we have few people that go in for other reasons, but people that go in for the sake of it, you're only loyal to what is adding value to you. You're only loyal to what you're adding value to and is being appreciated. So if you're not pouring anything, nobody's pouring anybody's pouring anything to you. It's just like you can leave at any time. But when you know that there is honey from this well, say you go there now.
Right.
And you'll be giving yourself reason to stay there. So like you can't take one thing and leave the other. Like loyalty, love comes into likeness, loyalty and everything. Like they're all interwoven, they all play along. There are times that one is louder than the other one. You understand? There are times that the love is like at the lower performance level.
Right.
And loyalty is at the top, covering
Is
everything.
at the high. Oh, I see.
Exactly. So
You know,
they
there
cannot.
was a right. Sorry, Nacho. It
Go
just
ahead.
reminded me about a quick TikTok that I saw. This woman, she's an attorney, but she was now described. She said she had a conversation with her husband, and she was saying, she was describing, she was like, how people will say they're not on my level, you're not on my level, stuff like that. She now said, there's nothing like level. There's nothing like you're not on my level. She said,
Yes.
the levels are like, they're not like stairs that you climb. When we think about levels, we're thinking about level 1 steps, you're climbing steps. No. She said, So there's a time where you are at a certain level, right? It's like a wave. So one moment is almost like you are low, as in depending on what it is you're working on. Another moment you come up to another level, you're doing another thing, but it's all on the same plane, but it
Right.
depends on what you need per time. So it will come up.
Yes.
Man, the way down Mate described that thing,
Yes.
my head
Yes.
bursts.
I'm telling you.
That's what I'm
And
seeing as you're explaining this to me now. I
and
just
that's why
remember
it's always like sometimes when you see couples, what is your own weakness is the other person's strength. What is your own
mm,
strength is the other person's weakness. For me, I'm not a
mm,
finisher. So if I
right,
have something that I really want to finish, I will just give my husband a go. Because if you do me one, two, three mouths, he'll
right.
push me. He'll say, okay, how are we going to do it? Ah, where can I help? What do you need me to do? Okay, I'll do this one, you do this one. He'll make sure you finish it. But when I was like dealing with all my mental health stuff and everything, once I just start and I get overwhelmed, I just throw it. My husband is like, you can't throw it. You have to finish it. Okay, I will help you. I'll help you.
Mm,
My husband, from the time that I've known him, he's not a caller. I am a caller. I can call your life out. I'm a caller. Like my parents-in-law will call him and they'll call me. They will greet me and they will not talk to me. They just say, greet your husband. My husband is like, they won't talk to me. I say, you don't call them. It's me that call more. He was like, I don't understand. But because every week I make it once or twice to call them. If I do one week and no call, they go first call me before they come out. Like, you be okay? You know, hear your voice last week. You understand? So when my
mm,
plan started complaining, my husband was like, that's why I'm having a wife that calls. So anything my wife is doing for me, that's not him. And it's not like a bad thing, but that's not just him.
right.
When my husband I say, my husband, I'm like, Mom, you have to understand. This guy is not a caller. But it's not like he doesn't think about people, but he's not just a caller.
Mm-hmm,
And it's not a bad
mm-hmm,
thing. That's who he
right.
is. So, like, you see, stronghold weaknesses, like, that's how it works. But some people want everything to be at a power 100. He's not doing this, he's not doing that. See, my two sisters' husband is the one that does grocery. My husband doesn't. It's either we go together or I go by myself. But the
Right,
moment I
right.
say, can you help me? You're like, hey, let's go together now. But my twin sister's husband will just run with it. But now I now realize there are some things that my husband does that our husband doesn't do.
Right.
So when I wanted to be upset, I'd be like, this one, he goes to the laundry, he does that. And I realized that some days I'll be sleeping and I wake up and see the house sparkling. Because my husband woke up before me, cleaned the whole house, did bathroom, toilet, sweep, mop, and everything. That doesn't happen in our house. So you see,
Mm,
so
yeah,
you cannot use another person to weigh your own and be like, it
right.
has to be this. No, it might not be the same for you. So you have to
Mm,
pick your battle. If you're married, you have to marry somebody that you know that, okay, these are some of his strengths that I know. These are some of his weaknesses that I know. Does his strengths overshadow his weaknesses? This part of him that is the weakness, can I deal with that? If it's something in your list that you know you cannot deal with, don't even start it because it's going to be upsetting you the more when you get married. But when you take that part that are good about him and you hamper on that one more, and that weakness you put it by the side while you guys work on it, it helps you. But it's like, man will marry, you go change. And when he comes, you want that weakness to just go up and the person just change overnight. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So you have to be at that understanding that not every time is going to be at 100% par. There are times that you're going to need emotional support that you're not going to get it. The times that you're going to need mental support, you're not going to get it. And that's why we just like you. Sometimes you have to equip yourself too. It's just like you doing business and just depending on NEPA in Nigeria. You know, so your business don't feel now.
mm,
So you have to think of a way that you think you sustain your business in case NEPA fail you.
right.
So now that's gonna be to your marriage. So if tomorrow my husband not do this, will I be able to survive there? You have to get that shock absorber for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That shock absorber is very important because there's some things where you go see that the kind of shock absorber in what Annie Dibia gave us. Anytime we to Baba do something, you just be like, you know what? I ain't going nowhere.
Right.
But yeah, but I mean, for the right reasons, though, you really
Of
need shock
course.
absorbers.
Of course. I don't even think Annie is not a good example. I
No,
don't.
no, no. I'm not making an example for my. I'm just saying she's using the
Mm-hmm.
shock absorber for a bad reason.
Right.
Yeah, she's enabling stupidity.
Yeah, she's
enabling that
enabling
stuff.
it. Yeah,
She's an enabler.
yeah.
Let me tell you, right? I used to say this all the time. So I dated one guy. Like the guy that I told you guys, I used to say that his girlfriend has every ex-girlfriend has is an ES. Every ex-girlfriend is an ES.
Right.
The problem now is not the guy. The problem is his family. And let me tell you why
Mm.
it's his family. Because every time he break up with somebody and tomorrow bring another guy, all of them will embrace her plus the mother. If he
Hmm.
break up with you tomorrow, bring another guy, everybody will embrace her. I said this nonsense for stop. If the mama tell the guy, say, I don't ever want you to bring anybody and take me again, I'm never ready to do anything. I know they like this kind of harassment. Do you know how many of the boys' exes the mother has gone for their wedding? Do you know how many of them?
Hmm.
I can count five out of my head. No joke.
Wow.
I can count
Wow.
five at the mother went because she's already palling with them before they broke up. So
Hmm.
I can't say because you broke up with my son, I will not go to your wedding. I will still go and support you so that you know that I'm supporting you and being a good person. But if she had caught that attitude of her son with time, that is for no reach where he did because now embarrassment for her too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same thing. If someone is doing something, if you don't tell the person, oh, I don't like this, I'd be like, I want to keep quiet. I don't want to say anything because I don't like Wala. The thing will continue until you
Yes.
get to a point where you can't control it.
Mm-mm. That's
So get to
true.
a point where you can't control it.
That's true. Man, not to. Now you and BB. Now come with guns
Bibi that
blazing.
my senior. Bibi that my senior. I beg.
Una
That my
drop
senior colleague.
gems. My
Bibi that my
goodness.
senior colleague.
Ah no, una
No,
drop
but
them.
when I,
Like
when,
we go do part two of this conversation.
we
I
need
because I
to. Yeah,
really
we
enjoyed
need
this
to.
one because there's a
And
lot
you
of
know,
nuggets.
Was saying something about mentors. I've never
Yes.
known any great person in this life that didn't have a mentor. I've never known.
Mm.
I have never known any great person that would not mention his mentor. So if you think that you're going to that, you think like, oh, I don't want to anybody tell me what to do in my house. Don't lie to yourself. Like you need that mentor that will tell you, this is what worked for me, it might not work for you. I have a business
Mm.
mentor, right? Anytime I send something to him, I ask him a question. She will like, if this is me, this is what I'm going to do. This might work for me, might not work for you. So you have to weigh your options. You have to have people
Mm-hmm.
that will tell you that in your life. You understand what
Mm.
I'm saying? You
Right.
have to have people that will tell you that you are doing it wrong. You are doing it wrong. Or if you put car for neutral, you press at the same the car go, it don't work.
Mm.
You have to pick. It's either you are driving, you are reversing, you are parking. That
Mm.
neutrality no go work with auto. It's not just possible. But sometimes because some people have that idea of what it is in their mind and that's how it's supposed to be. It's just like you entering a new house. It's a new house, so you have to study. Let's just say a new castle. When you buy a new car, it takes you a while for you to be able to understand the car and all the accessories that come in the car. So because you had an old car as an auto, don't mean that this car has not evolved. Because every year they bring out a new model. And
Mm.
that's how people are married. They evolve every step of the way. So you have to be studying like every move. If your wife don't born, she don't change. You have to study that part too. If your wife is a certain age in her life, that you have to understand that too. You have to understand that the woman like there's a certain period of the month that she can be like a little bit beige. There's a reason because the hormones are messing with her. There are times of the
Mm-hmm.
month that her libido is going to be very high. You have to understand that. But it was so funny. Like I dated a couple of guys that will always fight me at that time of the month. Why are you acting this way? Why are you doing this? Why? I'm like, so one time when my husband mentioned that, I asked him, I said, why? How did you know this? Because I've always had problems with guys. He said because they don't want to know it. It's not like they don't know it, but they don't want you to know that they know it. You understand? So it's just like
Mm-hmm.
that. So if you have one that today by 2013, 2023, you have to understand that there's some accessory that will be there that is new that you have to learn it. It's not going to be the same one in the old car.
Right.
We'll be like, no, no, no. Our father, this is how he did marriage. It worked for him. So my uncle had three wives. All his other friends and brothers that had two, three wives, it didn't work for them. But his wives are from different parts of Nigeria. We have one that's from Ogoja, Sef. She's late, God rest her soul. But I told you now, you can't gossip. If you come and gossip, if you not say anything, later everybody will depart. They say, hey, oh, I want you to talk to that to do again. You say, maybe me and you talk that. I said, no, 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 I know it's not me. But what you say not to do? You want to, so that you will know that you cannot come to him and gossip. So that you will know that you will not come to him and join. See that same guy that addressed that person that insulted his wife. You know that tomorrow you'll not say anything about his wife. He will
Right.
tell you about your sin. So that's basically how it is. But you know what? Like I said, like I used to say without my shoe that I
Girl,
didn't start.
you
There's
have
no manual
brought.
to this life.
In fact, you don't seal am for us nicely. I really appreciate your contributions now to honestly. God go bless
Thank you,
you.
Auntie.
Whether you like
Thank
am
you,
or not,
Auntie.
God go
She said whether
bless
you
you.
like them or not.
Yes, so whether you like am or not, God go bless you. Na brother Paul dey talk that one. BB, una do well for me, well, well. Thank you. I'm going to schedule a part two. Maybe
No
Sunday we will
wahala.
talk about am. Yeah.
No
But my
wahala.
dear, we will talk again. Thank you so
No
much. I love you
problem,
and
ma.
I appreciate
I
you.
love you too, sis.
All right then.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Neka, good night to
You can throw me
everybody.
out. Throw me out.
Oh, how I want it. How you say I throw you out? I beg. So make I Una good night. Oh, Mirabel has gone to bed. I know sleep don't come. Don't carry Mirabel. Marriott, I love you all. Neka, Celine, everyone, Easy. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you guys. If you're catching this on replay, please let me know your thoughts. I like to read the comments. Let me know what you think, and I will see you on my next one. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and have a great weekend, guys. Bye.